going on, guys? My name's Tyler Flatto. I'm from Hattiesburg. You're listening to my single, Savannah. Hope you enjoy it. Jordan, Matthew, let's have a good show, baby. Come on, crawfish and beer.
If I were a betting man, I'd say she's headed south by now. Didn't even look twice when her white car passed my house. She said she's all done with me and my kind. That's how I know that I'm the farthest thing from her.
Hey, I'm Katie Bainbridge. I'm the head brewer at Chandeleur Island Brewing Co. I am originally from Tavares, Florida. I found my love for brewing basically in kindergarten. I love science and I love to brew beer. I love to make wine. I'm even working in the distillation now. I started off as an enologist studying in California. My wife is actually a CB. And then we got orders here, so I became into this beer world. I am playing with pilot batches, which is the most exciting part of what I do. It's where we create and try new things. I just loved everything that Chandeleur represented. I loved their tarpon tagging, their variety of beers that they had on selection, and I just felt like it was something that I could bring an input to and I could give them the same love and desire that they show to the community. Come on down to see us at Chandeleur in Gulfport, Mississippi. Please drink responsibly and always drink local.
How many times did you sit back just relaxing? Understand movements coming in, yeah, we got the packs in. I don't really want to see no more traffic.
Welcome to Kathy and Susie's Kitchen. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Matthew Brooks. What's going on?
Guess who we're here with?
The
Cam and
twins.
Cain.
The twins.
That's
the twins.
right, baby.
Finally.
What y'all been up to?
Twin A, twin B.
Is that what y'all
It is?
call it?
No, I'm twin alpha. That's twin beta.
What do your
Gamma,
parents
delta.
say? What do your parents say? Did they call y'all, I mean, just by your name as kids, or they have nicknames for y'all, or what?
Cammy and Caney, probably from mom. You know, buddies called us twin. You know, it didn't matter which one you were because nobody could tell us apart anyway. So it was just like, hey, twin.
I mean, I heard there's a thin one and there's a bigger one.
I heard there's a third one. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, there is a third. Yeah, Tom Sweaty.
So,
We'll talk about him later.
where y'all from?
Well, we grew up in Gulfport. Went to Harrison Central High School. So grew up in Gulfport, kind of that Lime and Orange Grove area, and then moved out to Socia for a little while. Yeah, that's pretty much where we grew up until we went off to college.
And where was that at?
Southern Miss.
Well, actually,
top.
Yeah.
it was a little bit
Well, there
prior
was
to
there
that.
was a
So
story.
Yeah, so brand new freshman, you know, in college, we ended up going to Perk for
That's where I
our first
went
year.
to.
So yeah, you could get out of the house, go to, you know, this smaller school, but you know, you could stay there too. So we both went there and probably had a little bit too much fun and didn't make the best grades that first semester. But so we both ended up leaving and joined the Air National Guard, and then came back from the National Guard and went back to Perk for another year, and then went to Southern Miss. So
y'all both did the national?
Well, he
Guard?
did. Yeah, he did Perk, and I went to JD. So
I did that
yeah,
too.
same school, just different locations.
So y'all both went to the National Guard, though?
Yeah, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that about y'all. That's what's up.
What's that one movie with Pauly Shore?
I'm not sure.
So,
I don't know which one
go
you're
to the
talking
army.
about.
Welcome
Into the army? Or?
into the army. Remember that Pauly Shore movie?
Yeah, oh,
It's
yeah.
was it like that?
Where did y'all have to go? Where were y'all stationed for y'all's training or whatever?
So it was Lackland Air Force Base is where basic training was, and then I went to Goodfellow Air Force Base, which is was in Texas as well. And you ended up back in Keesler, right?
Keesler, yep,
So
yep.
it's a good little program, man. You get a GI Bill, you get the SEAP, which is the State Education Assistance Program. That was back then. I mean, that was 20 years ago, or more than that, 25 years ago. So I don't know what they do now, but it
I'd
really helped
encourage,
us.
you know, everybody to do it though. You know, I mean, heck, I mean, it pays for your school. It's just you know, you get
Yeah.
to serve your country a little bit.
What kind of commitment
Teaches you a
level
lot
is it?
too. It's
then it
1
was
week in
like-
a month.
1 week in a
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
until.
Couple weeks.
I mean, are you? I guess non-active now, or
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
does that stay? How long does it? How long do you stay active?
I mean, you can stay in as long as you want. I mean, the guard back then were 6-year terms. Obviously you can retire at 20 years, but a lot of people went a lot longer than that because it wasn't a full time. You know, people had day jobs too. So
Right.
I mean, who has a? But you retire, right? I mean, if you stay in,
oh yeah, absolutely.
so you can people work, and then what is how long is it? Like 1 week in a month?
1 week in a month, and then typically 2 weeks a year, or in the summer you do like a training or whatever.
So did y'all ever get deployed anywhere cool?
I did. I got fortunate enough to be able to go overseas to UAE, United Arab Emirates, and so that was really cool. That was a fun little trip. So we supported a squadron over there that had I think it was KC-110 refuelers. So I actually got to go up in one while they refueled a couple of jets. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Airplane next to airplane. I've seen that in movies before.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was only like, fiction movies. But I guess it is a real thing. Look, you fix your mic over there. What are you doing with that thing?
I don't know, man.
You got it all turned around sideways. Remember where I showed you to talk? There you go.
tightened up a little
Does it need to be tightened? We got some pliers somewhere.
No, it's fine. It's good. I'll just try not to bump it.
Yeah, the pliers on that refrigerator over there.
Anyway, so after college, you guys are done with that. Now,
I think
look,
Southern Miss, though, man. Even though we went to some junior college, when we went to Southern Miss, man, we really made that last for a while.
as long
years,
as you
man.
can.
We squashed
4 years, yeah.
we squashed 3 years into about 6 probably at Southern, so which was super fun. And
Oh, I bet.
yeah, I mean it was
So were y'all in
It was close to
fraternities
home.
up there? Or
we were, man, we were, yeah. Kappa Sigs
Kappa Sig?
up there, yeah.
A lot
We
of
were-
coast people.
I was having some flashbacks actually when we were driving over here. I don't know why, but I was thinking like in college, thinking about the shark deal we're going to talk about shortly. But we would come home on the weekends and fish, on the weekends and catch food because I mean heck, I mean it was ramen noodles or fish. I mean in college, right? So we'd come back up to school with redfish and shark. We had a lot of shark. Do you remember that? We had a lot of shark back in the day.
Did y'all have to live together in college too? Or y'all
we did live together.
I
Yeah,
remember,
most of-
speaking of the shark, I remember cooking shark in the microwave in the fraternity house.
Oh, God.
yeah,
What?
literally.
I bet you almost got in a fight with
It
some.
was good. Yeah. Full of
You're sticking
Tony's
this
and salt and
place
pepper,
up.
man. It was good.
And there were kids lined up, man, trying to
Black
get some of
tip?
that shark.
Black
Yeah,
tip
bro.
shark?
What if you got your hands on some tuna?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! we
Oh
didn't
man,
know what
that wasn't
was
even.
back then,
Yeah, that
man.
wasn't
It was
even in the
good.
realm of
Yeah, we were
possibility.
eating croakers and ground mullet and all that stuff. So
I still eat ground mullet. I don't know about croaker.
Smoked croaker.
no, we grew up eating that, man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You caught a redfish or a trout when we were a little bitty. I mean, that was something.
It is still something now. And I remember being a kid the same way. But sheephead, I remember those are something now. I remember going recently with some charter boat captains, and we had some customers on the boat, and like they're catching sheephead, and these people are going wild, and he like looks over at me, he's like,
Oh yeah,
but they taste good. I mean,
making a
dude, that's
comeback.
the
They are
best
making the
snapper right
comeback,
there.
yeah.
They're making a comeback, man. People are targeting those fish, even normal wrecked fishermen, not just guides, to put clients
Yeah.
on them. The actual wrecked fishermen are going out there and they're fishing for sheephead, which is a fine eating fish. They're just really really tough to clean.
Yeah.
I mean it's a
gotta have
it's
one
a
of them.
challenge.
Yeah,
you
if you're fishing with a guide, catch all you want.
yeah, he's
let
gonna
him clean it. Yeah.
No, I went and got one of them bubble blades, the electric bubble blades.
Oh,
I got one
yeah.
of those yet.
Yeah. I don't.
Not the electric.
Dude, it's pretty sweet. I got the corded one though, so I can give it a little extra power. But it's got 7 different attachments. There's 4 different blades on it, and it's like 4 different sizes. But so far, I've cleaned anything from trout all the way to snapper with it, and it's cut through all of them pretty well.
Somebody
so.
had one of those at the Pelican last time we were
It's
out
pretty
there.
fine.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was in
I-
a big.
Yeah, it's like a big
case. Yeah.
foam case. I got it.
Yeah.
in.
Dude, we used to fish Delacroix religiously, and we'd catch these massive amounts of trout. So we all had electric knives, and it's funny you brought that up because I had this one knife that was electric, but it would every time you plug it in and you'd hit the trigger, it would shock you. So we would set up, who wants to clean
Set
fish?
someone up.
And I would plug it in, and I would give it to a buddy, and I'd start wailing away. I look over there, and he'd be like, like this, grabbing it, shaking his head.
wet? What's going on?
Statute of limitations, 7 years. Did y'all go down to the end of the world down there and pay
Oh, man.
50 cents
absolutely.
a shrimp back in the day? Those things are like gold-plated shrimp.
Yeah.
We used to have a camp down there before Katrina. And
End of the
Katrina tore
world,
all that up,
serenades.
dude.
yeah, that was a fun place, man. I remember eating many bugs on the ride out and then
Satch
fishing in
and
the
Joe's.
mornings. Like, getting
that.
hit in the face. It was the growing up days, but what are y'all up to now? So you got college out of the way. You
Busy.
come back home. You got this big construction company that's blowing up. You got this big, brewery that's blowing up. Is there anything you guys are doing that's not blowing up? In a good way.
Well, right now everything's good, man. It doesn't work like that all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it's
this
a
is,
roller coaster. I'd say the brewery is pretty steady. The COVID and the lockdowns kind of hurt us a little bit, but the Mississippi Coast, man, came out in full force. With those to-go orders and really helped us through that
Yeah.
time. I mean, it was amazing the people that came
We
out.
had people. We had a consistent string of people, man. Buying their beer from Chandeleur to go, and that actually got us through.
It did,
what
yeah.
we needed to. That, and then of course, we had some PPP money come through. We were able to keep all of our employees.
That says a lot
Put
right
them
there.
to work. I mean,
Yeah.
we were doing, extremely deep cleaning and whatever we could do to keep everybody on the payroll. So, yep.
Well, we were in there the other day, and the place looks fine. So keep that up. Keep up whatever y'all are doing.
The
Y'all keep it
brewery's
up.
good,
I-
man. Go ahead.
I went during the
No. Go ahead.
Let him speak. It's Jordan. Let him speak.
No, but I did the 6-pack can line. I worked the can line for a little bit. That was that was tough. I mean, that was
It's
it was
intense.
an art
When did
form.
you do
It's
that?
intense.
During the the
that's
skeleton crew, and I was
yeah.
like, well, I had to go pick some beer up, and I was like, you know what? I know, like, you had the marketing girl. She was working back there, and she's short. You know what I mean? I'm like, put my beer down. It's like, let's get with it, and we finished out. The 6-packs or the sours we were doing, but it was work. I mean, it was an art form, and
Yeah.
definitely
Gotta keep up, man. You can't fall behind.
because that thing runs.
Oh, it keeps
Oh
going,
man.
So let's hear the story behind this brewery. I mean, I've kind of talked to you about it before, I know, and then you guys built one, right?
Yeah, so in Fairhope, where I was living at the time, we had just started the GC company, I think, maybe a year or two prior to that, and actually ended up doing a design build with a
Was
brewery
that
in Fairhope.
2012 maybe, or
No, it was
11?
12.
Might have been
11, yeah, I think it was 11. Yeah, so we did a design build. Nobody really in that area knew anything about breweries. In fact, the only one that we had in South Alabama was like an old brew pub that had been shut down like years ago in downtown Mobile. So there was no microbreweries in that area. So nobody knew anything about it. No engineers knew anything about it. I didn't know much about it, so it was a lot of research. Like I said, it was a design build, and we learned a lot. We did. And
That was
I just-
back in like Lazy Mag only days.
Yeah, they were the only
ones.
letter.
Like, yeah,
there
like-
was no other.
You had-
nothing over here.
Yeah,
Mississippi
so
had nothing
there was
besides Lazy Mag.
nothing. So you had Lazy Mag that way, and who knows how far in Florida. I don't even think Pensacola Bay Brewery was open, and that was like the first one.
I mean, what's the threshold between like a Kentwood or is it a Beta, like something like that, and just somebody who's brewing in their backyard? I guess is it a mass production manufacturer?
It's a manufacturing microbrewery. I mean, that's what we do. We manufacture it mostly. So most of the beer goes out the door. I mean, you look at, like, even that brewery was only a 10-barrel system. We started out with a 30-barrel system just because we weren't allowed to have on-site sales. So we knew that we had to distribute more beer to try to break even until we got the law changed.
Which did not happen.
That
for a
first
while.
year it didn't.
No.
So it was
For a
tough.
long
Did you expect it to happen?
Wow.
Oh,
You're like,
absolutely,
We're gonna
man.
pull some
Oh, man,
strings.
You see the tap room that you see at the brewery? I mean, we built that knowing that they were going to change the law the next year, and it just didn't happen. We got shot down. We never even made out a committee. Yeah,
You had to go
the
take
build.
tours. They had to.
I remember that. Yeah,
You had to buy
we
tours.
did some stuff in there for the
beers.
chamber, and
Yeah.
like we got the little gift card or the card, and they were like exit off and
Yep.
We need
That was
tours.
a
We need
tour.
loopholes,
Yeah.
loopholes.
A lot of those, man. But it was tough, man. I mean, we don't make a lot of money on the beer that goes out the door. So, and like I said, our business plan, we knew that we weren't going to have the on-site sales, so we kind of set ourselves up for that. Where a lot of breweries, they may start out a little bit smaller with a 10 or even a 20-barrel system, and then they'll upgrade, to a 30, or maybe they'll add more 10s and 15s or 20s. So it's just a process. It's a growth process. I mean, the more fans you get, the more people are going to buy it. The more that you got to produce, right? I mean, that's what you're doing, is trying to grow. And fortunately for us right now, excuse me, we're kind of locked in where we're at because we don't have any more room at the brewery. You know,
We're at
the whole
8,000 square feet,
that
and
we
you
have is
cannot
completely
add,
full.
you know, another piece of equipment.
Got to go up, right?
Well, that's we're thinking about it.
It's
Should
in
we
the,
go ahead-
it's in the works.
I mean, as you're down there,
So
you're
we go ahead
downtown.
and let it
Everything's
out,
big
or
down
what?
there.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, or what?
Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, we can, but I don't. The bank hadn't given us any money yet, so
So
we
we went to the bank yet. So no, we don't have plans, but there is a plan to expand up and
Man, I'm glad I
have some
predicted
good
that.
views and kind of green space.
That's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah,
really
I was.
cool.
We were. It's funny up on the roof, you know, messing around and started looking, and I was like, man, I mean, it's beautiful up here. It
really
you look
is.
back. I mean, it's like to the south is. I mean, it's basically the Coast Guard station, Gulfport Harbor. I mean, it's just beautiful right there, you know. So that's where it kind of started, and now we're working with an engineer and hopefully getting some design rolling here pretty quick that we can get in front of the city and get approval.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have no room to grow. Like our footprint, the way that building is on the tracks is pretty much zero lot line. So there's no property over there. And then we have street on the other side, right?
No.
So in the back, I mean, there's just a little chunk back there and that's it. And we've tried to reach out to some of the neighbors over there, but nobody's ready to sell. So what do? I guess you go up, right?
Yeah.
Plus, y'all have a really good. Y'all's location's good. Like, let's be honest. Like, that location's.
Yeah.
It's a good area. It's at the
Yeah.
very corner. Go up.
I
think-
love it because, you know, downtown Gulfport with Mayor Hughes and the city, I mean, they've done so much to try to bring people and traffic and businesses downtown.
And that's
it's
important.
really
Lloyd,
helped us.
David, I mean,
Yeah,
that
and
whole
we're a
crew,
key
you
part
know
of
all
that too.
all
You
that
know, I mean, people want to come down, they want to go to a brewery, they want to eat good food, and you know, we have a lot of good relationships with everybody else in the entire downtown area. So it's worked out really well.
I mean, that's kind of where the spot when I get out in Gulfport is hit Chandeleur, give me a few beers, get warmed up, and I make my way to Murky Waters.
Yeah,
I mean, it's-
yeah, and it's all walking distance. You know, it's a good little stroll downtown, and it's,
Get my same beer too.
Well, it's got a
Yes.
downtown feel.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in Mississippi, but you can go to downtown Gulfport. It has a downtown feel. You know,
That's
taller
important.
buildings and
I think the two
walk around, hit multiple locations.
having picnic tables and having like they're not just inside. There's always people outside hanging out with their dogs, kicking it. So that's always like attraction. I don't know if you go up. I'm telling you, you get a rooftop or something going on. That's a home
Look out,
run.
man. Look out, man.
We're gonna be there.
that's right. A little greenery space up there.
Yeah, just extra places.
Maybe something else that might be pretty cool up there too. I won't mention that yet, but we'll see.
We're getting something
might
out
be
of
a
it.
right-
Rules. Just make sure when you
could be
do
a
ready,
pipe dream.
when you are ready to
couple
mention
more
it,
beers in.
come
We're
back here and do
dream
it.
living, man. Dream living.
Yeah.
That's the way to be. That's the way to be. Always looking up.
Well, I mean, you did say when you had C.Roberds. So y'all built the C.Roberds from the location on Lemoyne to the one in Ocean Springs. He has a golf cart garage back there. Did you ever finish that?
What, no S?
Yeah. Did you ever put a little garage for your golf
Oh,
cart?
yeah, absolutely, man.
Gotta have a garage for a golf cart.
That's where all my toys are, too, because I can't keep anything at my house, man. I mean, the Gulf air, the salt air, I mean.
rips it
oh
apart.
my gosh, it's
Just
crazy.
rust it
It's,
on
it's
out.
insane.
I had to get a she shed the other day because everything like a bike will rust out in about 2 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So Carrie Fountain said that the Robert boys, great guys, Cam and Kane, great. Get the Barrier Olive beer brewing for you, your boy. Ha ha ha.
We did. We actually
Constability.
switched a brew schedule for Carrie Fountain. He's the mayor of Mississippi, and that's
it
what you
right
said. Yeah, there it is. That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
put it right back here.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then Ben Brent said local celebrities. When you see these guys, ask for an autograph. But he's actually TikTok famous now.
Oh, he
Oh,
is.
he is.
He
yeah,
is a
he's TikTok famous. Check out his TikTok. That's one of my favorites.
Ben, you come and eat crawfish with us tomorrow afternoon, old buddy, at the office.
Are you?
Let's see if he responds back.
Oh, he's gonna respond.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
keep going.
yeah. Everybody's gonna come now.
I will tell you though, this beer is a hit.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean,
it's
it's
a
a
good one.
and
For sure.
So the story, you want me to tell you the story behind
Yeah,
this
let's hear
beer? So there is a lady there with a stringer of fish, right?
Okay.
So it was, I think, me, you, Talbot, David Machado,
Yes.
and
yes,
there was a crew, probably 5 or 6 of us
yeah.
fishing. And man,
And
we
this
fished.
is where we were right here.
We were fishing Freemason,
Freemason.
and we had 1 or 2 fish, and it was just a struggle day, man. We just weren't doing that good, and we're back at the boat, hanging out, drinking a beer, and this girl walks down the island with waders on, like full neoprene
Just
waders,
decked out, you know,
decked out,
weight
and
net,
she had a
stringer.
stringer of fish of like 25
Made you
big
look bad.
trout.
She
And I was
holding
like,
them
we're
this,
all
just
like,
walking. We
everybody's
didn't see
jaw
it. Yeah.
just dropped. We're like, what the?
We didn't see it when she was walking to us, but when she walked past us, they were all like over her shoulder like this. We're like, what?
And that inspired a beer can.
It did, yes.
That's a good story, though, really.
Most of these cans have a little story behind them. They
Ben
really
said
do.
he's sitting in the parking lot right now.
So what is the process behind the stories? Let me ask that. And if you say most of them do, is it like you guys sitting in a room, like remember that one time? And
Yeah, it's
it goes
definitely
from there?
remember that time that we saw this or this happened. Coconut, porter, all the coconuts we find wade fishing that island. I mean, we try to kind of everything, let the island influence a lot.
Yeah.
Right, because that's the brewery, right? We want to tell a story. So we, even though people may not know, there is a little description on these beers that might kind of tell you a little something about the name, and why we named it that too. But a lot of them, like the Barrier Island Lager, that's something that people don't know.
How about an Old Buddy? Because we have this right here pulling up Old Buddies. This is Matt's favorite.
Dude,
Like,
so Dave Reese, good friend of mine. We were texting yesterday. Actually, great guy. That's our old head brewer that started his own deal,
Yeah.
Fly Llama, which is killing it. I mean, he's awesome. His brews are on another level. But so we went fishing with. I think it was Hancock or something, but we were over in the
we actually
marsh
were in the
in
marsh,
Louisiana,
yeah, with Hancock
and
Hancock.
he did that, had that all drawn up for that beer. We were going to do a hazy, so he did it, and then he showed us. We're like, "What, dude? Come on!"
So
man."
yeah, we knew that one day we would name a beer Old Buddy, right? Because that's just, we say it so much.
What's the
It's
story behind
ridiculous.
Old Buddy? I mean, is that just a childhood thing, or
Man, it's our family. My dad growing up, we say it all the time growing up. It's family. It's Old Buddy, and even our old Chandeleur trips with him and my mom and just everybody, it's just something that we've always said. It's just been a saying around our family.
Named
And
a
it's-
boat after it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually the Old Buddy right there. So I don't know if you can see that.
nice?
But yeah, so we have wanted to name a beer that, but it's one of those things that, man, we got to wait. Let's keep waiting. We got to find the right beer to name this, and we just never did. And we never did. And then finally, we were sitting at that fishing trip, and I guess Dave just kind of let the cat out of the bag and showed us the picture. He's like, "Man, we're coming up with this hazy."
What's my favorite? It's my favorite picture.
Dude, it's and that hazy IPA.
good-
it's a good beer.
And I'm telling you, like over the years, like the past 2 years, we have developed that beer, and it's gotten so good. And we're doing like distribution on the Mississippi coast with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It was just brewery only because those New England style IPAs are so delicate, right? So if you ship it from here to Alabama or Louisiana, it goes and sits in a warehouse where it's 75, 80 degrees for a week or 2 weeks, man, it destroys
it
the
won't
beer.
make it.
It destroys it.
No, it won't.
So we've been developing that beer and putting it up on top of the cold storage and the shelves and like letting it sit in the heat for a while. And it actually does really well now. So we may end up seeing that a little bit wider distribution here soon.
so, hey, Carrie, you got that? You hear that, Carrie? Carrie, I know you're there.
So whenever it comes to finding out the shelf life of these beers and where they go, is that like trial and error strictly? Like
Absolutely.
you get it out and then all of a sudden
Yep.
you got to ship it to Alabama. You ship one to Louisiana and you see how it sits in that climate.
Yeah,
or-
if you go to the brewery right now and if you look on certain shelves in there, like you'll see just rows and stacks of beers. Well, all that beer, it's certain batches. It could be a week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, 2 months old.
Yeah.
And they're constantly in there just trying those beers, just see how they last in the market.
So like I know after 2 beers, they all kind of for me start to taste a little bit similar, and depending on the buzz level that I get. So I'm like, who's in charge of that job? Just like the sampler.
Everybody is over there, man. That's part of the job.
You just
dude.
gotta have a little
Man,
taste though. It's
if
like
you work at a brewery, that's part of the
it's
job.
like the ice
man.
cream
Yeah,
place. They give you a little
absolutely.
scoop to
Yeah.
sample with.
I'm going to take you one time. I get blanks. And I'll sit there and just like move them around. And then you get what you get.
Surprise.
Yeah. But what Cavette say?
It says,
I can't see.
Colin Cavette. I wish the mayor of St. Martin, Colin Cavette, has his own beer. It'd be a hot seller. Sting 'em. Shout out Coco. I'm glad you're watching, bro.
Let's see.
So how many beers do you guys have? How many have y'all done? And I mean, do you even know? Do you even know? Like, I'm
There's
sure you've
usually
lost.
at least between 12 to 18 on tap. at
Like
the
all
brewery
times?
right now. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But as far as I know, whenever we went and talked to Katie, she was talking about like just trying new things and
Oh, they're on the pilot system almost. I mean, every week, multiple times a week, and you know
what goes into that? Do you ever get inspired?
It's a
Y'all
small
ever have it?
batch. It's a small batch system. You know, that's 5 gallons up to 15. I guess it wouldn't be too difficult to do, and basically, getting all the all the folks in the brewery participating is kind of the goal. So we got some cool stuff coming out.
I got to experience that with the. It was kind of sweet when she was making, like, I guess, teach me, handing me like the sweet. I don't even know what it was, grams or whatever, but it was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of process.
It is, dude. It's chemistry. It's crazy, man. I bought that pilot system before we built the brewery, knowing that this is, we were kind of in design and all that. I'd play around with it at the house, and it's fun. It's fun. I got to where I could do it a little bit, and but it's tough, man. It really is. I mean, you mess up one little thing, and that whole recipe is done. You've got a whole new recipe now, so you're making a whole nother beer. If you put something in at the wrong time, if you don't boil at the right time, you put the hops in wrong. I mean, it's just
I'm
there's
too
so
anal
much
for
to it.
that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do well in that situation.
Yeah.
So
it's
coming out
crazy.
with a new beer, I mean, it's a checklist. Like get it
Oh, yeah.
tested before you spend and get all the ingredients. And
Yeah, that's the pilot system. I mean, that's what
Wow.
they do. I mean, they're constantly brewing on that.
I mean, how long do you? I mean, in like baseball, you put someone in the minor leagues. How long do you put a pilot system in the minor leagues before it makes it to the big leagues and you actually like release it?
Man, I mean, it could be a one-off on the
I like
pilot
that.
system. If it's that good, then we'll go right to the big system and do it.
Hey,
We
what's
may
up.
do a half a
Can you
batch.
grab me
big
a beer?
system.
Yeah, I would like one too, man.
Hold on, I might get
Freemasons.
caught by this.
Yeah, Katie was. We were texting a couple days ago about she's doing
sir.
like a pineapple cake beer. So, yeah, I mean, it's like I think it's going to be like an amber or a brown ale, but she said it's.
we went to Marina Cantina. All of us. We did the release, the king cake.
Yeah. Oh, that
that
beer
beer
was
was-
unbelievable this year, man. God,
What?
that beer was so good.
Shout out to Sue.
Yeah.
But yeah, king cake beer, man, bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
that beer back because I
I
sat
think
there.
that same recipe next year. Let's do exactly the same.
It just hit right, It's.
Yeah.
I mean, it just complimented the king cake, especially when she was.
Nothing was overbearing. It was perfect. She did a really good job on that.
It's a winner right there.
Yeah,
You like king cake?
I like this Freemason right here. It's
Oh,
pretty good.
it's a
This is
go-to.
winner.
Yeah.
But I am kind of switching myself. Oh, I always did the flip flop, which is coconut and then Freemason. 75% Freemason, 25% coconut. Curly's,
Curlews.
yeah.
and
yeah.
then it's called the
Curly's.
I'm sorry. Well, the flip flop. And now you go in there. It's like because I guess y'all discontinued it for a while. I mean, you think y'all
Yeah,
come back?
it's a seasonal. Yeah, yeah. Did we had it? Did we have
Stick it on the wall.
It's like the McRib.
Around here, we write stuff too and stick stuff on the wall.
Yeah, I was writing earlier, so I was making those hats when y'all walked in, and I was writing down the hat recipe, like the degree and the time that you have to press on. I wouldn't know which ones to go back to. Just some
gotta
of y'all.
perfect it.
You got do y'all have a recipe book, like a master book somewhere, like a Harry Potter leather outside of it?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
what is it called?
That pilot system as well. It will hold the recipe. Like when you you try a beer. Yeah, it actually has a memory.
If
card
you
in it.
program when you're when you're doing different things during
Doesn't
the brew
surprise me.
process, if you log it in the computer, it'll save it. So
Yeah.
So it's like gonna be Terminator.
Yeah, I would love. Look, I mean, one day to go over there and just be able to play and brew beers and stuff, man. But
But construction
pays
pays.
bills.
Should we try?
Should we
construction
try
pays
to
the bill.
brew beer?
Yeah, I guess.
Y'all should go, man.
Figure it out.
Hey,
We could. I could.
I've been trying to get him to brew against me, like us both brew our own beer on the pilot system.
That would be a
And then,
good show
Yeah,
for us
to come
exactly.
video.
Like, say, okay, release it and have like some kind of competition.
So, what's your favorite type of beer? What's your favorite type of beer?
I don't think I have a favorite, man. It's different for different times of the year and what I'm doing. Like on the boat, I like the sour beers, Freemason, I love the IPAs, even the low smack, the old school IPAs.
That's what Colin Cavett drinks. He's an IPA guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
big time.
And the Old Buddy and the Total Clarity is phenomenal too, man.
H90, it goes hard around here. It's been
Yeah,
picking up.
yeah,
People have been
yeah.
picking up on H90. A lot of St. Martin boys. I noticed that. I was like, oh man, they discovered it's a pineapple
Yeah.
ale or whatever.
it's a wheat beer. Yeah,
But man, I tell you what, you go to any of my friends' house now, and their refrigerator's got H90 in it.
yeah.
And if they run out of H90, they're getting more H90.
Yeah, I mean it's a good, smooth, easy drinking beer, man. I mean it's a good beer. Yeah.
Plus, Aubrey's got something tied with it.
Oh, H90.
Yeah, it's good, dude.
Yeah, those guys. I don't know what happened with that. It was we were gonna do this big H90 deal, like the 30A, and
We changed the whole label.
changed
for
the
Aubrey.
label. Well, we reinvented
If he's
the beer
watching,
too.
we changed the whole thing. For
Oh, I
him,
got onto
and
my. I was at
yeah.
White Pillars. I got onto my White Pillars. Bro, where's my hats? Where's my hats? at?
Everything was for Aubrey, man. Then he just kind of dipped
Yeah,
out.
where
man.
are
I don't
you,
know what
man?
happened.
Kind of
happened?
shady,
What
Aubrey.
happened,
I mean, it's
man?
kind of
Where are you?
shady.
Come
Aubrey, if you're watching this, I mean, you're kind of shady. That's what they're saying, pretty much. Sum it up. The Freemason, was that y'all's first, like, launch of a beer? Like,
Well, 4. We launched 4 core at the same time.
Yeah,
It was,
and that was,
Freemason, Surfside, and Little Smack,
Which
yeah.
is H90 now,
Yeah.
H90 Surfside. But yeah, that was the 4 core beers whenever we launched. That's the 4 we had. So, and Freemason though, I mean that was probably the one we developed first and the longest. You know we wanted a light ale, something without fruit in it that was just a good, easy drinking beer. Ended up being a golden ale. You know, we looked at like cream ales, golden ales, just whatever. But that one ended up being
I
the
think
one.
Freemason was a name that we wanted to stick a really good beer to because that was one of the biggest names.
Best islands of fish out there.
no
Or
doubt.
was.
Yeah.
Oh
used to be.
shoot! One of the best top water fishing spots in the country for speckled trout,
There's no doubt.
and that's
about
not an
that.
opinion
you know,
either. I mean,
hey, and
that's the real
Hussein's
deal.
now got the Freemason boat.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's a sharp boat. And I've seen us. Oh, okay, y'all hang out. It's Freemason. But that's a good. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Shout out
He's got
Hussein.
the curlew too. You know,
Does he?
That's cool. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that one.
And then shout out to my buddy Shane Mitchell. I mean, he fabricates all of their aluminum. You know, over in right by me in Fairhope. So
Okay.
right outside of Fairhope. Yep. Didn't even know it till I
It's
went
always
to the
good to
shop
keep
the
it
other day.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Corbin has a few of them, right?
I think he does. He's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
He's got the little skiff.
Man, I see that
Yeah.
guy. I live like in Gulf Hills, so I'm looking at the end of Lover's Lane and the bay right there,
Yeah.
and I could sit on the couch and I see summertime. You know, you'll see boats rolling in, 25 miles an hour. 30, 35, and then you see this boat
Coming in at 90.
rolling at like 75 miles an hour
With perfect hair. With
So I
perfect hair.
pick my binocs up, and I'm
Rooster
like,
tail.
I know who that is. I look, and sure enough, it's
Jamming out to
Corbin
danger zone.
rolling, yeah. I don't even think you can hear music going that fast. It's like breaking the speed of
What
sound.
does he run? Like 60 something?
I mean, he taled about it whenever he was on here.
Yeah, it's like mid 60s.
He likes to go fast. Well, don't we all? I mean, if
I'm
you-
not, man, I lost my speed need
you know,
on the boat.
driving.
I do have my motocross bike. I love to ride that kind of fast, but the boats, man, I've slowed way down. I like to cruise, enjoy my time on the water.
Yeah. If it's
We're
flat.
talking slow down, 30 miles. We're
No,
talking.
I'm talking like 23 miles an hour.
Y'all's big boat. How fast that thing go?
The old buddy.
Yeah.
It's a slug.
It
man.
cruises
Yeah.
maybe
24 miles an hour.
21 to 23 knots. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Enough
Yeah,
to take
no,
it
it's
out,
great. Yeah.
drink
It's
some
comfortable.
beer.
It's
It does take a
comfortable.
while to get about 90 miles offshore. It does, but it's fine. Hey, it's air conditioner.
That's all that matters, right? When you're that far out,
Yeah.
you gotta get out of the sun,
Yeah.
take a nap, get some good food. So let's talk about y'all's construction company. All right, y'all started that when? I mean, that was y'all's first endeavor together. Or?
Yeah, that was in 09, I think, when we started it, and we were both working for construction companies at the time. And I mean, I think we always kind of knew that we were going to start a company together, and ended up being construction. I didn't know that he was going to be in construction, to be honest with you, after school. I don't know that he knew, but he ended up at a big GC and learned a lot. So I don't know. It was just timing, I guess.
Yep.
We both. Well, actually, the economy was tanking, dude. Remember that? I mean,
Yeah.
it was like 08, 09 when it was so
Yeah,
bad.
just
And
I was still in school.
the residential market was like horrible, and that's what I was doing at the time. Even though I wanted to be on the GC side, I was doing residential work, and I was like, man, you know what? Now's the time. I mean, if we do this, we can go out, and we're young. We can
Got just as much of a head start as
go
everybody
a-
else
yeah,
at
go
that
after
point.
these public jobs, and we don't want much margins on them. But you know what? If we make a name for ourselves and work hard, then you know we can make this happen. That's what we did. So
So
In 2008.
many years,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
Well, yeah, I mean, 2000, I think I went full time in 11, like maybe January of 2011 or the end of 10 or something like that. But from the company I was working with.
yeah, we formed the company and then started doing. You have to have like GC experience from that company.
Yeah.
You know, so we had to do, we were doing some sub work, you know, just to try to build a little revenue in the company and just kind of get our feet wet. So kind of on the side while we're doing our
Build
other
your
jobs, too.
reputation.
It's gonna be pretty tough to launch a company like y'all's.
Oh, dude, it
Especially
was.
being young.
Well, I mean, you know what? You have a lot of drive when you're young. And then, you know, my first child was born in 06. So whenever you start a company, you go all in like that. You don't have a choice. And then Fisher was born in 09. So, you know what? It doesn't matter if you have to work 15, 16 hours a day.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
You're going to
Mine
do
were
it, man, 'cause
08
you got to
and
feed those
010,
kids.
So I had
Yeah.
one like definitely in diapers, and when we pulled the trigger and went full time, so it was sink or swim, man. There wasn't any option but to.
Where was the first one
succeed.
started? Was it right here or was it in Fairhope? There's 2 locations, right?
Well, I was
Same
here and he
time,
was in
really,
Fairhope.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were both,
okay.
yeah, we
Oh.
were both
Yeah.
working.
So you're pulling different, you know, economies or really
worked out of our
different
houses,
jobs.
man, for the first year or two.
Brilliant, really. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
the hustlers hustle and they're going to find a way to get it done.
We figured
So-
it out, man. I mean, we had, you know, the experience and the drive. You know, anybody could do it with the drive, but you gotta put the time in, man.
So now you guys
Yeah.
are doing monster projects. Like, what's the most recent big ones you guys do? I mean, I know I've seen some of them.
I don't know about Ron. We've bid some for us, you know, for being a young company. We bid some big projects in the 10 million range, but 5 million is
5
what
million's
we're
big,
doing.
dude.
We're doing right
Yeah,
now.
you're
You
not
know,
gonna
for
go
Our
us.
sweet spot, I would say, would be more all on the lines of the line of 1 to 2, wouldn't you?
One
and
to
even
three.
under
1 to
you
3,
know?
probably. Yeah.
1 to 3 maybe. But that's kind of our little sweet spot.
That's
so,
what matters. You can find a sweet spot
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can get, you know, repetitions off of it and you need to figure out how to make it. That's important.
They brought to St. Martin. They built that shopping center with what's the Mexican restaurant?
I remember
Taco
where it is.
Huh?
Oh, you
Taco
talking about
Sombrero?
the shops on
Yeah.
Washington? Yeah,
Yeah. So Taco Sombrero. That's one of their builds.
I remember those office on Lemoyne where the car drove through the front of it. That was pretty
Oh,
rad.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a call at Sunday night, or it was Monday morning at like 2:30 a.m. The sheriff's department, and I was building my house now in Gulf Hills. So we were in a rental house in Sunkist, and so I get the call. I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, a kid ran through the front, so he clipped a telephone pole in half, and then went into the front of Beltone that rents a space out of that building from me." But it was crazy, man. I went in there, so the kid left the car in there, unscrewed the tag, and then took off.
Genius.
Running, man. So yeah, man. He left his cell phone.
Oh, man.
So when his dad was calling his cell phone, and the sheriff deputy picked it up, it's
Game over then.
Yeah, but
I mean, I do live in Sunkist, and I had a kid. He hit the sign one day right there, and he was trying to swerve in. He was coming over the bridge and to turn onto Sunkist Country Club, and as he turned, he hits the sign. I don't know. He was like trying to drag or what's it called whenever you
Drift.
Yeah, he was drifting.
drag.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a racer, but anyway. Whenever he did, he got stuck on there, and I heard it, and I come outside, and he was just kind of in a daze, and I was like, "Hey, man, are you all right?" And he just looked up at me, and he just like tried to get up and bolt, and I'm like, "Man, I'm here to help you, like calm down." And he wasn't having any of it. And anyway, his parents ended up pulling up. He got in some serious trouble there too, but
He was probably smashed.
yeah, probably. I remember being young and dumb too.
I think our buddy Josh White. I think he went through a house on Lemoyne.
He did go through a house.
I mean, that has a little S10 extreme. Shout out, Josh. I know you're probably watching this. Remember the time you went to that house on Lemoyne?
Hey, you'd be surprised how many people run into buildings, man. It's
That's
insane.
why you see those bollards at gas
Yeah.
stations
Yeah,
all across the
yeah,
front, man. Their insurance gets cut in half.
That's what I
for
do
having
for a
those,
living. Is
yeah.
insurance.
So that makes sense.
Good.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah,
Okay,
it does.
okay.
Yeah, you got all that storefront.
There was a
man.
guy in Oxford one time. He drove through the front of a liquor store. I remember, and busted the glass on the front. I don't know. I've never driven through the front of a building.
How-
Nothing-
what
nothing-
was
Say-
it- what was
I think
the
it's
damage
a
on that
mistake
car?
of hitting the gas instead of the brake is what happens.
What was the damage like of the car? Not your building, but the car itself. Was it, or did it take it
I
pretty?
never really saw it, you know, to be honest with you. It was just covered with rubble. And when they pulled it out with a tow truck, I wasn't even there to see it. So I don't know.
I had to speak to some of your good your construction work if it wasn't too bad, right? It just messed the car up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad, you know, I'm glad nobody was in there. It wasn't during the
Oh, yeah.
day.
Yeah, that would have
Because,
been
yeah, it
some
could've
bad
hurt
news
somebody.
for sure.
You so yeah, Sunkist though with that kid drifting though, and Sunkist like right around that corner, like he must have been on something because that is just one. Matt's the first. Like Matt lives on the like right there in Sunkist.
It was the old Sunkist sign too.
I don't think he was drifting. I think he just missed his turn and hit the sign.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to think,
That's
like,
my opinion.
Could have been. Hey, I was there when the cops came though. He got in trouble. Yeah, I think they took him away. So his parents were there. Shout out if you're listening, man. Hopefully he grew up and we're on a better path now.
So with you said there's some. You got a new beer coming out?
We do. We have it's a whole, launch, and, their beer. There's a lot more involved with it. It's another tagging program that we've teamed up with Marcus Drummond and his team from Mississippi State. And we did the tarpon tagging project, supported that like 3 or 4 years ago.
I think you sent me a picture. I want to see it. Yeah. Hold on a second. So, yeah, here's.
Is that the one from
You with the GoPro on your head?
Oh yeah,
Cain?
dude, that was unbelievable, man. What a project that was. And shout out to Hayden Olds and Troy Price that live over in Fairhope by me, and they're big tarpon guys, and they kind of taught us the ropes, when we first got into that project.
Like,
and
so
teamed up with
a
Marcus.
person like me that's not really into that world, what got you, like, when y'all started doing, like, I mean, what's the true benefits for the coast down here when y'all do all that?
I think the migration,
Well,
man,
yeah,
and just
it's the,
knowing
yeah,
the awareness of the
awareness,
fish,
man.
like
Yeah,
that
you gotta
they went
think-
away.
I've never seen them down here.
Well,
I mean, I've heard of them.
yeah.
A few far
Look at
between,
the old pictures from like
Go
the
into
20s
restaurants,
and
and
the 30s
yeah, and
of
it's
people, walking out from Pascagoula Beach all the way to past Christiane or whatever on the beach and catching these, 120, 150 pound tarpon. It was common. And, there's a lot of things that have, that's happened over the last 90 years that's diminished that, but it's good to see what's going on, to be able to tag some fish, and they all migrate towards the mouth of the Mississippi River. It's just in their like
what
DNA.
is going on with them? I don't know.
Yeah, so they all start
yeah.
like they're in South.
the
There is
water
resident
warms up.
tarpon, a lot of them, but they start in like South Florida and South Texas, and they all move up.
But I've seen
know,
them
the
being
Gulf.
caught there. What is there a reason that there's not a plentiful amount of them here? Is it just because the water's a little dirty and you don't
Well,
see it?
that's-
The water
you're-
gets too
that's-
cold.
well,
in the wintertime.
Well, no. What you talking about? Plentiful amount here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's plenty. If you just have to catch them on migration.
Okay.
I mean, but during migration, when they come in from June to all the way through September, I mean, there's a plethora of tarpon right off of our beaches, south of our barrier islands. Tons of them. And the only matter of fact, there's one full-time tarpon guide in the state of Mississippi, Jeremy McHugh, Stillwater. You've probably met Jeremy at the brewery before.
Yeah, it's my cousin Tara's Jason's little brother.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah,
Jason McHugh.
Tara's my first cousin,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and Jason, but his little brother,
Yeah.
the captain.
Yeah,
yeah.
and you got Ryan, as was our age, which is a good buddy, or a little bit younger than us, but so
School together,
Jeremy is full-time tarpon guide, man. So during season, he is absolutely putting the smack down on the tarpon, catch and release, and he's got. I mean, it's just on another level, man. And he's got
every
beautiful-
day. Yeah, he sends
it's
pics.
crazy.
like,
It's a
oh,
grind.
Yeah.
But we have we're building a camp at Cat Island right now. My brother and him and a couple buddies from New Orleans and around some different places. But the name of the camp is Tarpon Tales.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
It's a niche. I
Yeah,
mean, it's coming.
yeah.
I mean, you got
We're gonna have
little,
to go out there and do some.
oh
filming.
you guys, yeah, y'all are in.
I've never
all
called
day.
like a
We'll do a
catfish, maybe.
podcast.
That's what I want to
Cat
do. Yeah, a
Island, dude.
podcast.
Oh, that's
out
what we want to expand. That's why going live and doing other things, but we're definitely going to expand out. I've never caught it, like a few things maybe, but I'm new to all this. With me and Matt just signed up for Trey Cherry's new fishing team, so that's the decked out sport fishing. Got a 39. Was it 39 yellowfin?
Yeah.
So it'd be the first experience for me to really be a part of a fishing team.
Yeah, he borrowed my my lull to put up his
Shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
to cover the boat. So
I've never. I mean, like you've always tried to get me on the boat. Now I'm saying, okay, I might do it. I always bring it up. Rode Kyle Mallett changed my life.
man, that would change anybody's life. To be honest with you. Yeah.
No, but whenever it's beautiful out there, we talk about it all the time. You guys know you're from down here. You fish. It's just that like serenity and peace,
Oh,
out,
dude,
out
yeah.
one feeling.
Man,
Can't
just
take
go
the
out
Even if
water
the fish
out of
aren't
us.
biting
Man,
sometimes.
our
Yeah.
barrier islands
Yeah.
are just on another level, man. It's a gem. It's something that people don't understand that we have. People don't know that. There's people that have lived in South Mississippi their whole lives and hadn't been to Ship Island, Horn Island, Cat Island.
Man, we
it's
were
crazy.
doing some wade fishing out at West Ship one time, And we got out there, and there's this guy on the ski boat, and it was Mississippi numbers. Whenever I got up there, he's like, "Man, this is Horn Island, right?" And I'm like, he had kids with him, and I'm just like, "Oh man, no, yeah, it is." And I just kept walking, and I just stopped, and I was just like, "Do I go back and tell that guy that he's not on Horn Island?" Like, but in my mind, I'm thinking, "How are you out here and you don't know where you're at? Like, this is a recipe for disaster, kind of." But he was from here. And that was a sad thing, but yeah, I guess it was his first time, but still, like, you know, there's people like you just said that don't know about it, and I kind of sometimes don't want to tell them because it's like mine, and I'm selfish about it.
It is, man. It's like, you know, we have a lot of people migrating to South Mississippi, man, and you're just like, you know, you want everybody to, you know, you're so proud of, you know, what we have, but at the same time, you're like, you know, maybe you shouldn't tell everybody. But
so just stay on land.
The cost of living, I mean, I'm living in a house that, you know, would cost, I mean, you know, 10 times as much in Florida or somewhere else, you know. So it's just, we're really fortunate where we are.
Big time. So what's next on the horizon? We got new beer, we got new construction.
Everything's good, man. Right now, construction's real good. You know, 2020 it slowed down. You know, we got hit pretty hard. A lot of our private stuff ran out when COVID hit. So it's a good feeling for us to be busy in both locations.
And that's
that construction. Go ahead.
I would say when we do get busy together is always a good thing, because instead of me being busy and Cain being slow, which happens more often than not, you know, I'm kind of taking the slack of the Alabama office.
He's got the mic right now.
He's got the mic.
It don't matter how slow he is, he's the busiest guy on the Mississippi coast.
But you know, that's why, like, these programs, man, that we do, it actually breaks up the monotony of construction and a little bit of brewery day after day, to be able to be involved in something like this, raise some money for the awareness and tagging these fish. But this next fish is, so we did the tarpon, and I meant to move into the fish that we're doing, and I don't know if you ended up pulling that up, but it's a great hammerhead. So Marcus has a relationship with the O-Search guys. Have you seen the O-Search platform where they have all the great white sharks? With the
Paul
tags?
Walker did it.
Yes,
forever, and come pick them up. Yeah.
So
R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Yeah. So literally,
Too Fast, Too Furious.
This is going to be on that platform. So Marcus
Same boat.
No, it's gonna be the fish is gonna be tagged in one of their research vessels in Mississippi State, but it's right there. And these fish actually come right into the Northern Gulf in the middle of summertime. They're a warm water fish, and so I'm super excited about.
So it's a hammerhead.
Great hammerhead.
A great hammerhead?
Great hammerhead.
Great
yeah.
hammerhead.
Yeah, great.
I was out fishing probably about 90 miles out one time, and there was like a 14-footer come up by us. We had a tiger shark that was 10 foot.
That was probably a great hammerhead.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's why
yeah.
The wake on this thing was just monstrous, and we're out there and it's calm. Yeah. And I look over and I'm just like, "What is that?" And you can just see it pushing the water on the top.
Oh man!
All of a sudden, it comes and all the fish that were under the boat just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I think my buddy Brett actually hooked it. And I mean, and it busted the line immediately. Like it wasn't having nothing to do with it. But 14 foot, easy 14 foot. And I got it on GoPro somewhere.
Dude, that's a huge fish.
It was probably the biggest fish I've seen like in person.
How about under the water?
It was probably 10 feet from
No,
the
I'm
boat.
saying for you, like you, when you talk about he does scuba diving. Seeing a shark like that's not what I mean.
I'd be cool with that. I mean, they don't want nothing to do with you just as much as you want anything to do with them.
So Matt sits with his dad.
That thing could eat you, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the car could kill you. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
you get electrocuted by a fish knife, a fish cleaning knife.
But y'all do like
volts, man,
with Matt, his dad growing up. Him and his dad's a master scuba diver. Matt goes in caves in like Florida and just sits in caves for 30 minutes, hour hanging out.
I got spoiled whenever I was a kid. Yeah, he took me on all these cool dives, and
wow,
because of it, it's inspired me to want to do some more underwater like filmography and following like the fishing and spear fishing and
catch up with Hussein's brother.
Yeah.
He's freaking unbelievable.
And he did. Did you see where he followed the tiger sharks around during their migration and stuff?
Is on another level.
What does it feel like? You know, you're following a shark around.
Man, that's
I'd be cool with seeing a shark, on the boat.
He is that guy that films the guy that's in the cage. Yeah. So he's out of the cage, right? So somebody has to.
He's probably got his own cage.
Yeah. So my buddy Shane, before we both knew that we knew faux. I was over there. It's like, yeah, man, see that cage up there? That was Shaq's cage or whatever.
Yeah.
We built it for him. And you should have seen this guy outside, man. He was just the guy outside filming. I was like, where was he from? He's like, Ocean Springs. I was like, it was faux. I know it had to be. He's like, yeah, it was. I was like, man,
So he's running around with the camera.
outside while they're
No,
yeah.
Oh man,
living the life. Man.
he must have seen Point Break.
I think,
You're right, maybe.
who
I
hasn't
remember
seen
Point
Point
Break.
Break?
No, have you? So, do they get scared and they go away, or do they come closer?
Well, typically the ones I've seen that they come up and they just kind of recognize you, they see you, and then they turn around and leave. And it's not the sharks I'm so worried about. It's like the barracuda. Sometimes
those
they're
dudes
like
are
the
relentless,
grouper
man. Yeah,
are
they
very aggressive.
They can just
sometimes.
chop a limb off, man. You've seen them chop like kingfish. like-
Mackerel. I've been part of a mackerel attack one time. Not me personally, but a guy I was with. He got bit one time, and I just watched that tooth slice right through his skin, and it was pretty unreal. Oh,
So-
yeah.
Oh man, I'm just asking questions because you're talking about the topic. When I get out there, I want to. I don't know surprises.
Stay in the moment. Yeah,
this tag, honestly, I'm gonna have to, I want to be involved with them, and it's a good, like I said, it breaks up the normal stuff, and it's for a great cause, and they actually fish these with like drums, and they'll hook them. They'll hook like a piece of fish or a stingray, and throw it out there, and this fish hits it, and it's pulling this drum, and which is really fascinating to me. I'm like, man, that's going to be really cool. I have to be a part of this. So looking forward to that hopefully this summer. But we're going to have a beer. That's going to be the label right here. One of his guys at Mississippi State actually drew this.
Do you have that
It's
label?
amazing.
Yeah, that's the shark.
That's the shark.
That's the
Yeah,
hammerhead,
that's
yeah.
going to be on the label, which is pretty cool. And we're going to make it real simple. Put a QR code on there. Want people to be able to donate. To go to the QR code, go to the website, donate some money. Let's raise some money and help them buy some of these tags.
Most of y'all's beer cans always go to like the aquarium or go to a call. I mean, it's
Dude,
like
I know.
We're always doing
we've
something,
done
man. It's
we've
constantly,
done
yeah.
like four. We started with the white tip wit, with
Marty.
Marty, and that was great. We've done the Croctober beer.
Yeah.
We've done the Dunkel with the turtle. I mean, it's just a great
Tarpinator. When you grow
those-
up here, though, man.
Those are fun projects, man.
Yeah.
I love doing those projects, and I have to I donate part of our sales, $1 a case of those beers go to the aquarium, but it's going into a fund that we can reuse and do some good stuff for
Yeah,
conservation.
I
some
think the
awareness.
older you get, too, the more you realize that, hey, instead of going out there and catching 50 trout and doing this all the time, you want to give back, right? You want to be able to do stuff like
Oh, for sure.
You want to be a conservationist.
Well, you
And
have
we do.
kids,
And we have a platform
and
now,
that
too.
makes you're like you want your
You want
kids
them to
be able
experience what you
and their
experience.
kids.
Yeah.
There's
to-
nothing
to
like
have-
culling speckled
It's our-
trout. You know
it's
what
our
I'm saying?
resource.
You want
It's
them
not
to go to
gonna-
Chandeleur and be able to go out there and wade fish and do what we do. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, and so we think about that more when you have kids. For
I know
sure.
a lot of guys are on that catch and release anything over 20 for the speckled trout.
Yeah.
On the big breed.
Kyle
Yeah.
Johnson, I think,
Yeah.
was a big.
I mean, that's what it takes. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember back years ago, and you guys remember too, the endangered red snapper, right? They were telling us that there wasn't any of those, and now every time you go, you start putting chum out.
Yeah.
You can walk on these things,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
crazy,
because
man.
they
It's
put
crazy.
these strict laws in place
Yeah. Yep.
on it that help out.
works.
So
They're doing their job, and they're spending money to sample and figure it out, and get the science, and so yeah, it's great, man. I mean, without that, without like the DMR doing these things, we wouldn't have a fishery. It would be wiped clean.
Yeah. You ain't
So
lying
we're really,
about that.
yeah. So those guys have to stay on top.
So
of
when
that.
a person drinks a Chandeleur beer, it's given back.
Give it back,
I mean, that's
man.
kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
well, I mean, that was with, and I started seeing like with Marty and doing the, the can and stuff. And it's like, oh, and then the next beer came out. Like we kept going to events. It's like, who'd y'all partner up now? And to see, like Matt said, it's over time, it's just going to make a big impact.
And it already has. You guys are picking up, huge recognition. Like y'all been on the Discovery Channel, right? Y'all did a show there. What was that all about?
Well, it was Blue Collar Backers,
Yeah.
and I think they ran like 3-4 episodes, something like that.
I think it was more than that. I mean, it was
Maybe.
a season.
Don't humble yourself.
Well, we did.
A lot of
we were
humbling
the
going on.
stars.
Look at this.
The best show, the best one. We were with the Clay Bears, T Mike, from the Swamp People.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the coolest show. And literally, I think they had like a PETA complaint come out on T Mike, so they had to pull it.
They pulled
And,
the whole.
So they pulled
it
y'all
out.
too?
Oh, man, pulled that. The first episode. Yeah,
there were
so
some
that was-
other ones in there that we did, but I mean, they pulled that one out, which was a great one. And
I was in there wrestling like a 12-foot alligator, man, like just one-on-one.
12
crazy.
foot?
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
think it was like
kidding.
3
12 foot?
It was 3
that's
foot
what's
and
up.
taper.
No.
So surely the
Don't
film
sell so short. Are you sure it 14?
I thought it was 12. I don't know.
must have been a few old buddies deep.
But man, you like Matt said. I mean, no homer stuff. Like you're on the Discovery Channel with a show. That's an opportunity to just.
No, it was, and we tried to, use the brewery a lot and do some things to kind of help promote that. But I mean, they took a lot of things out of it too. So it's like Cam said, they took that episode out, and we did some stuff over. We even went wade fishing with them. We had a lot of scenes at the brewery, and
That's pretty cool.
Made
a
some
lot
good
of that
friends
stuff got
too, man.
taken
Yeah,
out.
made
It
some
did.
great relationships.
Yeah, with the film crews too, and the camera guys and sound guys. I mean, it was fun. It was a good experience.
It's amazing how much they take out. I mean, it's got
And we've learned it doing our stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we have to take stuff out
I
too.
envisioned like, okay, we've got all this good content, man, and like me and him, and this is real life stuff, dude. It's fun, it's entertaining, exciting. I'm like, all right, man, this has got to be in, and they edit it all and they send it out, and like none of it's in there, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing?
That's why I
Right?
told
this
Jordan
is what people want to see,
When
right?
we first got into this, I was like, man, in my mind, I'll come up with like, this is going to be the perfect shot. And then I'll go film it or I'll take a picture of it and I'll like look at it and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, this isn't anything like what I thought it was going to be. Like,
Yeah.
But that's part of getting better and showing your skills.
But with doing this, and I think we started getting people to dive into our show it's like uncut.
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty raw.
when we first started to figure it out, we were like, we got to make it look good or figuring it out, and then we're just
It's
like,
live now, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
live,
roll
man.
with it. Yeah.
It's really no editing. That's the best part
it's
about
going to
it.
be slow. We're going to get into the groove, warm up. I mean, Stably came on. He's running, but he came on, and after a while, you start warming up and start just randomly, talking and get kind of used to it. I'd love to see like Discovery Channel with live shows
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd
dude.
probably go.
Man.
Kyle, you
instead of like
south.
instead of like
There's
a
too
bill.
many higher ups
They have
that have
way,
to cut stuff
yeah.
out and put their 2
their
cents.
legal
That's
team
true.
is way too big to have a live show.
So, all right, I got to ask. So, you guys are twins, all right? Is there that twin premonition to where you guys could be at 2 different locations, like thinking the same thing or feeling
Oh,
the
that's a
same
good.
thing?
That's a good one.
Or like the Force, like Jedi's almost,
There's been a lot of that growing
Yeah,
up.
we
I
actually
think,
the
Like
last
you hurt
a
your
couple of
leg and your
subs-
leg starts to
No,
hurt.
actually, there was, and we talked about this before, but I was actually we were probably 15, and when we were 43, so at 15 you could get your license. At
Yeah,
15.
it was like that whenever I got
Yeah,
my
me too.
first
Okay.
15.
Yeah, so which was way too young, man. I mean, way too young to be.
Now that you
Come
have
on,
kids.
go back and way too young.
My son's 15.
So
man, there's no
Cain's,
way I can see him driving
Cain
right
was
now.
I forget where he was at, but I was at my grandmother's house, and my mom was probably working or something, and this was way before cell phones. It was just landlines and what have you.
Beepers, man.
We were outside. I was like,
Might have been before
I
beepers.
said, Grams, did you get the phone? She's like, honey, the phone's not ringing. I was like, no, the phone's ringing. You need to get it. Grab the phone. She's like, the phone isn't ringing, and about a minute later, the phone rang, and it was Cain. He had gotten a wreck, and like I knew he was calling, and something was wrong,
Uh-oh.
and that's what happened.
That's
He
when
got
you
in a
knew
car
you had
wreck.
the superpower
Yeah,
of
man,
like
yeah.
premonition.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
that-
had a few of those, man, to where we just know something's wrong or something's up. And sure enough, I mean, the other one was in some kind of situation to where they could have used help at that point. So.
We need good things, not bad things. You just got to hone in on that.
Well,
skill
most
and
all the
sharpen
good
it.
things were together, right?
Yeah, there you
so
go. There
we're
you
out
go.
at the
That's
island
good.
wade fishing.
That's a good
I mean,
episode. Mixture.
I mean, y'all spend a lot of time
catching
together.
a whole lot more fish than he does.
Oh yeah, so you guys
This
are
is
best.
true. I heard
you guys
about
are
this.
best
I-
friends, right?
I heard about
There's no
this.
doubt about this.
The worst
heard about
part is
this.
like if I go catch all the fish, I still got to share the fish with Cain. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to take them all home. So
So
He beat
we're,
me to that because
so we're
he
saying
knew that he knew I was the one that caught all the fish, so he just tried to beat me to it.
who's the more competitive brother?
Man, we've been competitive our whole lives. Man.
That's why I tell
dude,
people,
we're
look,
born
yeah.
less than a minute apart.
if he
by
wasn't in
C-section,
if he wasn't
so-
in Fairhope, man, we could not work in the same office. We would beat the shit out of each other.
That's okay.
So he's in Fairhope. It works out good. I get to slap him around about once a week or two, and you know, I have to see him every day. Yeah.
And so y'all compete though. Y'all compete. I mean, with C.Roberds, Alabama. Well, y'all got Florida too,
if
right?
I didn't stay like twice as busy as him all the time, then he would never hardly do anything because he's always playing catch up, right?
So you build the bigger project.
Yeah, I mean we're just
call
busy
my
all the
accountant
time.
and ask him what's really going down between Mississippi and Alabama.
Oh, this is awesome. No, it's. I mean, if we were twins, we're not twins. We're kind of like twins.
No, we're not like twins at all. All right, the Shop and Chivalry podcast wants to know. I don't know how to pronounce this word. What is that? Hefeweizen? Hefeweizen. Says he wants to explain the difference between your wheat beers and your Hefeweizen beers. Are they both wheat? Hefeweizen is a famous style of wheat beer in Germany. So he's
German.
Yeah.
German.
So he's asking, I guess, to explain the difference between y'all's beers.
From what I understand, is ours is more of an American wheat instead of a German wheat, which would be a different yeast, and
yeast strain.
malts could be the same, but it's a lot of German malts and different yeast strain.
And hops too. So
I don't know anything about that stuff. I went to Colorado and started visiting microbreweries, probably 2011-ish.
that's a good spot.
It was, I mean, it was eye-opening.
Where'd
It
you
was
go?
definitely that. We actually, I was there for 3 weeks, and we traveled the entire state pretty
Really?
much.
Colorado Springs is a
Colorado
great
Springs,
spot.
Boulder,
Yeah.
all these little, shanty towns, little mountain towns. What every single one of them had these little breweries, and I mean, you guys are monstrous compared to the ones that we were going to. Like they had like one pot, like one big thing out there.
Yeah, well, those guys, I mean, a lot of those are brew pubs, right? So they don't really distribute a whole lot.
Yeah, they
So
didn't. It was
everything
like
that
you
they
come
brew,
there and
they
you
sell
get
on
your
site.
or sell on
Every bit of
site.
it, Yeah.
But that's really what
Scott.
opened my eyes to it.
Yeah, that's
Hickson,
how I
he's done a
learned.
great
Like
job,
Scott's taught me, and that's how we all met each other. Like
Love some Scott, man.
Hops and Growers.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Hops and Growlers.
But he, if it wasn't for him, just like teach me certain different beers, and I'll go into the. I'm real big into single barrels, so I love a good bourbon stout. Like I just Four Rose
I
bourbon
love
stout,
those too.
Scott,
Yeah.
or y'all got some bourbon stouts too. Y'all got barrels aged, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of been a good glass, and then I got in because you can overkill it. I mean, we've done some events where people put too much like coffee in it, and it's just like what. You know what I mean?
That's usually toasted malts.
Well, those
It tastes
stouts
like
have a
coffee.
lot of, that's what makes those beers so dark too. Is those?
I like
dark
those, though,
malts,
sometimes,
chocolate, and
so-
toffee, or coffee. Yeah.
Scott got me on those, I guess, his beers.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
them. Yeah, they're good.
Y'all have
Especially
one
in the
too. What's the
wintertime,
one
man.
y'all have? Yeah,
We've always got a few
of them?
rotating
Okay.
around. I think there's 2 in there right now. But yeah, I bring them.
The Wee Heavy
home
was,
all
I think,
time.
the last one. That was pretty.
They're good for sipping around, fire and whatnot. I mean, they're good.
Good for getting hammered.
Oh,
'Cause,
absolutely. It's like 9-10%. Yeah.
I'm starting to get into the sours a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Man, that's
On the water, pretty good.
yeah. So
If you could ever get out on the water, you'd probably
I mean,
like
it's
it more.
in
One-
the,
one
it's in
day,
the upper
one day,
30s,
and I'll try a sour.
% range that we actually is sour beer that we distribute.
So
30%, you said?
30-something percent.
That's crazy. What's y'all's footprint now? I mean, that you're distributing. Is it all over America, or is it southern?
We're in
southern
East Florida a little bit, mainly South Alabama, all through Alabama, but the bigger cities and
New Orleans, huh?
New
Orleans, Baton
out to
Rouge.
Y'all in
Three,
Rouse's,
four.
bro. That's big.
Little
That's a
bit.
big deal. You in
More
Rouse's? That's a big deal.
Man, Rouse's is such a great company, man. They're just.
So what's the key to getting it out there even more? Is just you guys networking more? And,
Well, we got to have more space.
yeah. That too.
We're pretty much maxed out right now, man, to be honest with you. And we're trying to, we've got some legislation up there right now that's going to kind of help us in the tap room a little bit more, and kind of free us up. And we won't be quite as tied down to having to distribute 90% of the beer that we manufacture. So by law in Mississippi, we can only sell 10% in the tap room of what we manufacture. So
What?
yeah, we're going
That's
to raise
crazy.
it. It
So
is
we got some
crazy.
lobbyists up there
it
doing
was-
work.
it
Then,
was
right?
zero.
Yeah, no,
I know, guy.
It
We
was
sat-
it was zero.
We
at
sat
one
down with the
point, yeah.
wholesalers and we came up with a plan, and we all agreed to everything that we put in this bill. So I mean, it's going to conference, but so that's a good thing.
Let's dive a little more into this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, so you're saying like
So it's going to be raised from 10 to 25%,
Right now,
which
it's,
is great.
The,
I mean, it's going
the
to help.
bill now. I mean, nothing's happened yet, but right now where we sit, we're at 90% of the beer that we manufacture.
Not in the bill, but
No, I'm saying right now where we
Right,
sit.
right. Before,
the current law is 90% of the beer that we manufacture goes out the door to the distributor.
right,
It
what
has
I
to be
just
distributed.
explained.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And you guys are you
Is
limited?
he getting cocky?
You
Oh,
limited
yeah.
to that.
It's a hey, y'all can swing on the
Brotherly love,
podcast.
brotherly
Y'all can
love.
swing on the podcast. We're cool with this.
But so you know that you're going to hit your 10%. You automatically know that.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
you
like,
reserve
that's
it. You have to.
ridiculous.
You have to
Which is
manage
good.
this.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, that is
It's
not bad
close.
stuff.
Yeah, we have to watch it.
You have to
we
watch
have
it.
to watch it. So
but
that's too
25% would make a big.
The
It
only
would.
thing that it would affect if that cap moved one day, which hopefully it will soon, would be some of the far reached distribution would be pulled back in and concentrated more in
Locally.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
South Alabama, South Louisiana.
Well, I
So
know.
it wouldn't be going to some other states way up.
You know, there's always
here and
strength
there.
in numbers whenever you're trying to do this. So you have to kind of team up with some other, either
Yeah,
distributors or
it's the
manufacturers.
Mississippi Brewers Guild. I mean, we have an organization. I mean, you have to have an organization when you're going to Jackson with
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, and
there's
like I
a-
said, we sat down with distributors, this year, and we actually came up with a plan. So I mean, that's the way you have to
Yeah.
do it, especially like with breweries, and we're not
no battles.
We don't
no
have a big
bickering.
voice.
And
but
y'all are little guys. I mean,
we
y'all
are
are.
little guys, but you know what? We have a lot of people out there, that are
Absolutely.
fans. So, but we don't want to go that route. Nobody does. You want to be able to sit down with whoever you're trying to collaborate with and get the law changed and
Have common
whoever-
sense about
exactly.
it. And
Ready?
Winners win.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it worked out, man. We got I say we don't have it yet, but we raised that to 25%, and then we'll also be able to, as even though we're a manufacturer, we'll be able to obtain a beer permit and a liquor permit, retail permit, meaning that we can sell liquor, wine,
Shut up.
and-
Bloody Marys?
and other
Shut up.
other beers.
We're going to start brewing our own liquor.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
Hey,
that would be
hey,
cool.
That's solid, bro.
That would be cool. I mean, you
Yeah.
see other, places in Mississippi doing it. Cathead, they're local. They're Mississippi.
But that's what they do, right? So when you go in there, they have beer there, but they're allowed to have a retail beer license.
Okay.
But they're a distiller. Well, breweries can't do it. Why can't we have retail liquor?
Yeah.
And we're microbreweries. So it's just kind of even in the playing field, which is great for us because, whether you like it or not, I mean, there's people that don't like beer and they don't like craft beer.
That's true.
Come in there and drink a glass of wine, get a
you
liquor
don't want to
drink.
discriminate. God
Seltzer.
forbid you discriminate.
Could Chandeleur come out with a wine?
We could, but we can also actually, speaking of wine, Katie.
Oh, I know.
I know. She's kind of dropped the.
She's dropped the wine thing on us. That's why we're
Oh,
dropping
did
on
she?
you.
Yeah, no, that's what she did. So no, she wants to
Shout
do
out,
it,
girl.
but Katie is. I mean, she's so busy right now. I mean, she's so good at what she does. I mean, look at the releases. I mean, it's every weekend. There's like 2 beer releases almost every single
There was
weekend.
a pale,
I mean, the girl
pale
is freaking,
American pale ale. that I
Yeah,
had
she's a
Wednesday.
machine, man. It's crazy. I mean,
man.
they're always
It's on
coming out
another
of
level.
level.
Well, if you get a career in what you love and you have you have the keys to a brewery, what would you do? Like if that's what you like, you have the key to breweries, you can order whatever you want. You can order your supplies.
That's kind of when we were talking to Scott one day, and he was breaking it down to one day I just woke up and I decided I wanted to try this. I used to be a chef, and we used to enjoy picking out what our product was going to be and going in and procuring it and going to the farmers markets and getting fresh vegetables, and you can kind of like see the vision and then taking that and making it come to life was always a fun event and fulfilling too at the very end. And then whenever you see somebody else enjoy it, that's where you get your ultimate
Well,
did
that's
it right.
hey, that's the same scenario.
Yeah,
in
I was about to say
construction,
it's
man.
got to be that. I mean, it's like
Construction,
that
too.
in
Yeah.
any kind of pride
Yeah,
of job that you
absolutely,
take.
yeah. There's a beginning and an end, and that end is satisfying. Then you stick with it. So I think that's why I've stuck with construction for so long.
I mean, that's kind of why me and him picked this up as much as we have. The gratification that you get. We did these Neptune videos for the crew to Neptune, and it was all fun and games. But then at the end of it, we're like, man, this is pretty good. And we were just playing around. And then the last thing we did was that commercial for you guys. You've seen how far we came tonight. And to me, at the end of that commercial, it was just like, man, that was really good. It was just that gratifying, fulfilling.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a fulfilling moment. So
We just I just love the fact, man. You guys are you're involved with anybody, most everybody local in the community, just trying to keep it local trying to help everybody succeed, and it's
that what life's
amazing
all about,
watching.
man?
I love it, man.
Local celebrities. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, look, everybody's
I don't
local.
know you as much as I do Jordan, but I know y'all are two peas in a pod
Yeah.
now, for
Yeah,
real.
that's
And
the
this
truth.
guy right here, like, just to give him a shot, like, who's not easier just to love, to like?
Yeah, man, love some Jordan,
I mean, he's
man.
like the guy of the Mississippi Coast. I mean, there's nobody nicer and more caring, and just this dude's unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
and you're the same way. I
you
just
were-
don't
I
know you as
appreciate
much
it.
as
helping
I do.
appreciate
the
it.
blowfly, the blowfly in.
Yeah.
back when,
And that was
when I
Dean
first-
Hewlett got me in there, and I figured what I would, was capable of doing just because it was thrown in my lap, and I was like, well, see what you can do. And there's like, well, I'm gonna bring Chandeleur beer in. I don't even know these guys. I'm bringing a local beer in, and every time somebody came to the table, you remember that? I was like, I have to have this. Like the waitress said, that was a big thing. It's like, and I wish more restaurants would do this because they don't do it. I go to restaurants all the time. It's like, hey, we're in Gulfport. Why don't we do a little shot glass? Let them have a taste test before they order a Bud Light. And if you can convince them that they're from Gulfport, and that's when Freemasons start flipping. When the sales start flipping, it's like you give an opportunity. The thing is, people don't
Just gotta try it, yeah.
and tell a story.
Yeah.
People want to know a story about what you're doing. Like if people knew what you're fighting for the community with your beer, it's a passion for you guys. And when you really realize, like, are you going to drink a beer? You're going to, would you buy somebody's beer that's helping the community if you knew about it? And that was the concept with the local beer and the stories behind y'all. And I don't know, it's just, you take pride in when you buy a 6-pack of Freemason. And he always gets on with it. We always buy a Freemason from Rouse's or anywhere I see it. I mean, I always buy. And
I try to give it to him. He won't.
no,
let me give it
it's
to
something
him.
about it. It's just one of the things
He
like
won't let me. He won't let me give him anything.
That's Jordan, man. That's just the way he is.
That's how that's your makeup, man.
Well, I mean, what do they run? Was $8.99? Is that $8.99 now?
$7.99.
$7.99?
in some places for the Freemasons.
Usually
yeah.
$8.50.
But I mean, you
Yeah.
can't. $10, you get a good beer, and it's got a good story. And it's like kind of like me and Matt have our own careers, but then we have this, and this is turning into something pretty big.
Yeah, it's growing legs. It's been fun to watch and see how it has picked up. And I mean,
Kind of like y'all's brewery. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a passion project for you guys.
Yeah, it is. And it's taken some time, but we're able to bring this beer to the Mississippi Coast to where a lot of people don't drink craft beer still, and then we can tell a story while we're doing it. I mean, that's the goal, right?
I think, and for me, is having an outlet, to support, these some of this awareness and raise money for these, these
it's a big
conservation
thing
side.
too.
Yeah,
And
it's
having
just-
an outlet, that's kind of for us. This is a platform.
What's it feel like
Yeah.
What does it feel like to actually, watch your brewery start, and your construction company too? But we've been friends for a few years, and I've kind of watched y'all grow, on a bigger level. But like, to now you go to your brewery and it's like packed out. Like you got to expand. Like there's people that drive. I meet people in there from not here. And they just come and they have their families. Our pink dress run, that's another thing, is like we've started a pink dress run together. And look how far that's got at Chandeleur.
It's been a fun
Yeah, and we had
ride.
26,000 at Memorial this year at Foundation, which keeps all local. But the team that won this year that had the most people are from like Metairie and Lafayette. There was 20 people that came for Chandeleur, and they still do it. And they still go to Chandeleur, and they're from Louisiana. They just come over. And now with COVID, you're seeing a lot more Louisiana people come over.
Yeah.
And every time you go in there, you meet new people.
We deliver good product, man.
Oh, I love just going in there sometimes, man, and I'll just walk up and down the bar. Hey, man, where you from? Or a couple.
Yeah.
And there's people from like Michigan and Wisconsin and Carolina.
Well, it's the same thing we do.
Yeah, they're
like,
like,
you're going to be looking for a brewery
They're
on
like,
your
hey,
phone.
yeah,
You
we're
know,
doing
when
a
I went to
5-day trip from Carolina. We're going all the way to New Orleans, and we're going back. We're hitting every single brewery we can hit. In that 5 days, and this could be like a retired couple.
Yeah, and
just
and to know that you're on that list. I was up at the hunting camp this past year. We honed up in Oxford, and there was a guy up there. He's in insurance. He lives in Jackson, and I told him I was from down here, and he was just like, "Man, you ever been to Chandeleur Brewing?" I was like, "Have I ever been to Chandeleur?" Yeah, tell you about that. But he's like, every time he comes down, he likes to take his customers there, and it's his local spot where it makes him feel like he's at home down here on the coast, and he's not.
It does when you walk in. I mean, Chandeleur Brewing Company is, hey, I'm on the Mississippi coast. I'm near the water. When you walk in, you just know it, right? It's just the whole vibe in there and the feel, and that's why that's what we've tried to do. You know, tell that story, and then also people kind of poke around where they're looking at Chandeleur maps. Oh, okay, well that's Chandeleur. That's where it is in relation
Yeah.
to the other.
Oh, for
Yeah, because a lot of people have never been down there. They've never heard of it.
They really haven't, man. So it's awesome just to be able to tell that story. And
If you live down here, which you live in Fairhope,
Yeah.
and, but I mean, I know you'd be there all the time because it is y'all's personality.
oh,
It's
yeah.
like
And
definitely.
I'm there. You know, I try to come. We have weekly meetings every Wednesday. I don't make it every Wednesday. Probably every other Wednesday. You know, and then, but there's little times like this with you guys coming here over here to do this with you guys. I mean, any opportunity I get, I come over here. Right?
We're
But
appreciative. We're having a
we
good
stay
time.
so busy on the construction side right now, which is a good thing because 2020 wasn't like that, right?
But I mean, the constructions has always been a big support for the brewery.
It has,
You
and
and
it
Cam-
was in the beginning. Like I was telling you earlier, before we had on-site sales. I mean, it was a struggle,
Right.
Right. I mean, it's a new business, you know.
Yeah, you're
weren't
losing money to be
We
able
weren't
to be
making
there.
money, right? So whenever we got the on-site sales, I mean, that flipped. You know, everything kind of flipped, and you know, we had a fan base at that point, and then people were coming in. You know, so we started doing better and better, and you know, now I'll be honest with you, what I saw during COVID. The brewery is always going to be that company that does pretty well, you know, as long as Katie and everybody keeps doing their thing, which they're doing awesome. The construction
mailbox
company,
money.
Construction company is going to be up and down, but the brewery is going to just kind of keep riding because it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. People are going to drink beer, right?
And in order to establish
They're gonna
that's
drink beer.
impressive, guys. You did a great job doing that. Look, my buddy Matt Whiteside, shout out, he says, let's see, y'all going to start making 12 packs ever? Is that a thing? Or is it six?
Actually, it
Trying
could be
so
a thing
hard,
right
man.
now. Yeah, it's close.
You know,
You can get a value pack 24 at the brewery. There's it's a case beer,
That's
right?
a flat,
we
right?
did,
What was
we
it, 12?
did the tarpon.
That's the tarpon
the
box.
tarpon
Yeah,
tagging
yeah.
box. You know, raised money. Well, the distributor, the box is expensive. Okay,
Is it?
Oh yeah, you're talking like close to at the end of the day a couple bucks a box
For the
You know, when you're
cardboard?
when you're selling a case of beer for $20, it's tough to swallow it. So you have to figure out a way to to offset that.
You got to buy in bulk, Matt. You got to buy in bulk to get a better deal.
You can't just can't lose money. I mean, you hope in the distribution world,
you
you
don't
hope to
wanna
break
lose
even. That's what you want to at least be able to break even. And so that's the challenge right now with the 12 packs. But we're working towards a Freemason 12 pack.
About a 30 pack for
That's
the college
that's
kids.
crazy though. It's like where you wouldn't realize. I mean, for a person like you, I wouldn't realize it'd be that much involved just to.
Yeah, to pack it up, I wouldn't have thought that either.
Yeah, it's expensive, man. It costs money.
Like these cans. Remember, you had the white cans, the original whites, and then when y'all going to these with the labeler, and that helped.
Yeah, because we had to buy so many cans that were printed. I mean, you had to buy like a truckload or a half a truckload, and then we're sitting on that inventory of Freemason, or heck, I think we just finally ended up using all the Curlew cans that we had, from 2 years ago. But you sit on this inventory for such a long period of time, but it's just.
That's something.
I mean, the
you're losing
brewery
money.
is not.
there.
It's not a big. It's not a windfall. Business. It's just
Strong
It's
money
not
maker,
printing
it's just
money.
there.
It's things have to be.
Do you get
in
emotional once
order.
like a pallet of cans get dented? Do you get emotional?
Man, hopefully. I'm in a good mood, man.
Speaking of cans, man, it's been tough during COVID to
To get them in?
cans. Oh my
That-
God.
Aluminum or-
It's
How,
been
how about
unbelievable.
construction though? I mean, like
Yeah, the price of wood and
We
stuff's
so
going
high,
through the
man.
We
roof.
can
Yeah,
get
it's,
materials, but they're really expensive.
I went a
so-
week. I'd go a week with a mattress supply.
That's actually a box, 12-pack box.
Okay.
Hey, can you put that towards?
Yeah,
camera?
let me see it. I can hold it up
Yeah,
here.
guys, we're I mean, being a little ghetto right here. I am. But no, the thing is, my mattress store. Normally it take a week to get a truck in, like a week to get a truck in. Now it's getting better. A couple weeks, 2 weeks, but then right when all this COVID stuff hit, they're like, "Oh yeah, 6 weeks."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And they're like, 6 weeks. I was like, "No, there's no way I'd survive a month and a half out." Like
Man,
I'm a
look,
small
we have-
1,500 square foot store. I can't even put room in there. So it's like it was.
Man, look, so right when the COVID went down and, manufacturers were closing facilities down for periods of time and somebody got sick and quarantined or whatever, I get it. But, I think it's got to get back to normal. 'Cause I'm waiting on doors for months, for a project or whatever.
Yeah, my
I'm just
dad, he
like,
does windows and doors. He said everything's 6 months out, right?
dude,
now,
I'm like,
so-
what's going on, man? I mean, what the hell is going on?
I don't know. If I order something on Amazon, it's still coming in within like a month, I would say. Not any time longer than that.
Yeah.
We're talking about full blown like
Maybe we should start investing in freight and hot shot hauling and stuff like that. Maybe that's
Dude,
maybe
yeah,
there's
that wouldn't be a
an
bad
answer
idea.
in it. If we're facing it, certainly so is someone else.
Yeah.
And that's, that was a big impact for me. That was an eye opener for me. It was like, okay, I'm fine with like, I'll shut me down for a month. When that's what happened, I got shut down for a month. And then I come back, it's like, oh, you can't get anything. So what am I going to sell? Like, what am I going to sell? I'm going to sell my smile. I mean, you
Got an
couldn't
empty
get
warehouse,
things.
yeah.
Yeah. I had this one story and a really impact. And so me and Emily bought, I'm very cheap when it comes to this kind of stuff. So adjustable bed, I'd rather keep it in and sell it. So, but Emily was like, babe, I want an adjustable bed. I've been waiting 2 years. So it's like, all right, we're getting an adjustable bed. So I get this order of adjustable bed in, and I got my adjustable bed in.
Why are we all laughing?
But I got the adjustable bed in, and an older couple bought from me two. So at the same time, we had 2 orders out for just the king size adjustable beds. I gave them, ours came in 2 different trucks, but ours came in like a week or 2 before, but it was still 6 weeks out. This is a family that's been waiting, so I had to give up our setup, like our stuff that she's been waiting for this family. That's, we're very polite, but
Customers.
let's get things started.
yeah.
Let's get it back together because
Yeah.
something as a gift for her, she was like, babe, customer service.
True business owner, man. Your
man.
your own shit
That's
is on the
true
back
Jordan
burner.
fashion,
at
though.
all
You
times.
do it too, though.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
matter
have to.
what-
My
what
wife's
you
like,
do,
you
yeah.
can't fix this in
At
our
your
house.
house?
Like we built your construction company. I mean, we can't. I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to go take care.
Gotta
of
go do a podcast
so-and-so
real quick
or
with
whatever,
Jordan and Matthew.
or that, or that.
I mean, look at Woody's. Guys, have you ever been to Woody's in Ocean Springs and you see how cool that place is? These guys, that was their build. That was like cool to see Woody's. Like Woody's is probably one of my favorite places.
It is really. I ate a
Turned
burger.
out really nice.
Me and
That's gorgeous.
The mayor of Mississippi and I ate a burger there.
Are you talking about Kerry?
Yeah.
He is the mayor of Mississippi.
Shout out.
He's going to run the whole entire Mississippi one
Have
day.
you ever walked anywhere in public with Carrie in Ocean Springs?
Oh, not yet. No.
Yeah, well, don't plan on getting from point A to point B anytime quickly if you're walking somewhere.
It's not a bad
He knows
thing.
everybody.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy, man.
I mean, it says like,
Great guy.
like 4 steps, boom. Kind
You
of
got to
stuff like
see
that.
us. We're coaching our daughter's soccer team, man. It's an absolute riot. We're having a blast. So.
Yeah. Are they any good? Are they like the ladybugs?
They're pretty good.
Like-
I mean, we got some really talented kids, man. We've won a game and a game.
Y'all won a game?
But it's
Did y'all play soccer when y'all were kids, or y'all-
did not.
No,
play
Were y'all
soccer,
athletes?
man.
Did y'all play anything? Or?
And we played ball,
baseball,
up to
then
So I played ball,
16
baseball.
years old.
Mayor of
like
Mississippi's in
Babe
the
Ruth
middle,
stuff.
guys. If you're wondering who that guy is wearing the pink hat, the daddy-daughter dance, the guy in the pink hat, Mayor of Mississippi.
So he knows that many people. I wonder if he should kind of run for something else there.
The
huh?
mayor of
Maybe one
Mississippi.
day.
The Mayor of
We can
Mississippi,
make-
it's a real thing.
So we'd
We should make a
start-
shirt. We should make a
start
shirt.
that? Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why not. He has a heart. He's into politics. He's a good dude. He's always fun to be around. Look, he's got my blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Vote for him.
How long has
I
he
can't
been-
vote in Mississippi, but I'd vote for him anyway.
St. Martin on the map.
how is Fairhope life compared to living on the coast? I lived in Spanish Fort, so I went to Daphne before they built the Spanish Fort High. It's a different world.
It is, man. No, it's great. Fairhope is very similar to Ocean Springs. I mean, everybody says that. Y'all have heard that. I'm sure everybody has. And it really is. It's a small little town, very family-oriented. We've got the bay right there, man. We're really close to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. I mean, it's like a 25-minute ride. We're doing work down there right now. I mean, we're still doing, hurricane repairs from Sally. So we're close enough to where you can drive down to the beach in a day.
That's
to
cool.
Orange Beach.
That's huge.
Yeah, or you can drive down for half of a day. I mean, it's just that close. So it's really nice. And then Mobile Bay is great. I live on the bay, the eastern shore, that Mullet Point area. Beautiful, man. The sunsets. I mean,
So you're on the water right there.
on the water. Wouldn't trade
That's the only
it,
way I
man.
would-
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
couldn't.
be there.
Man, I just, it's just.
You push a button and your boat just lowers in the water.
No,
and you
I
get drive,
blame my parents
drive to your
for
brother's
that,
house
yeah.
over
Yeah,
and
they-
go Gulf Hills.
How long does it take
Raised
on
us
boat
on
to
the
get to
water,
his
man.
house? Because he's on the water too in Gulf Hills.
Have y'all made that trip before?
Actually,
dock to dock.
Brought
Yeah,
the kids
actually-
over there in my old boat.
Yeah, the hydrosport. It took y'all about what, hour and 40 minutes?
faster than a car.
Yeah, I would.
I took.
Yeah.
We do a camping trip at Horn Island with all the kids every year, and this year the weather was nice enough that I just took my boat from my house to Horn Island. It was like an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, that ain't bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It was beautiful.
Actually
We
kinda
stopped-
fun, yeah, if
Dude,
the
we
weather's
stopped
right.
like 3 times. Yeah, I mean it was a beautiful ride. So
Have you ever been hung out in Fairhope?
Yeah, a couple times.
How about the Grand Hotel?
It's a pretty cool place.
That place is lit.
yeah, great little spot. Yeah.
How's it doing? Still kicking?
It's
Kane,
good.
Ask
Oh, yeah.
Kane. He's got a membership over there.
Do you have a jacket too? I mean,
I don't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
jacket. No, I just got a little card that they
gotta go-
charge me way too much for everything. But,
oh man, you're a member.
member of the country club. So.
Well,
He gets a 10% discount.
He's got a son. And we always I always tell people like the stories like, but his eye coordination is insane, and he plays tennis. The kid's going pro. Like anything he does, like he just got the coordination. You're like, whoa.
That's good.
He's doing good, really good. So this is his second year. He was on the high school team, the varsity team last year as an 8th grader.
Oh, wow.
So he's a 9th grader this year and on the team again. And
Scholarship bound right there.
I hope so.
Maybe
think
that's why he
he's,
got a membership at Grand?
He's won all of his 3 matches this year. I think 8-0. So
Oh, so
yeah,
just
he's doing
8-0?
good.
Serving skunks.
Yeah,
Make you a proud dad.
yeah.
How often does he
it's cool.
practice?
That he practiced during the season with the high school. I mean, they're always there.
Has he
It's
surpassed you, like to where you
Oh,
can't
man.
you can't even go
Yes.
out there and try to give him
Look,
any
look,
advice or
it's
anything?
funny.
Look,
It's
Matt Stebley
hilarious.
just said, those are some pretty cans. Matt, we already told him.
Yeah, we did. We said
Yeah.
we're getting you
The
on.
best.
Yeah,
But you got Matt's got this one too.
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
it.
So
That's
you
the
got-
big. That's
yeah,
the big deal
one,
there, man. That's the logo.
That is the main
Stebley's-
one.
Stebley's
So he told me the
logo,
other day,
yeah.
he's like, "That's a redfish." In my mind, I always thought it was a tarpon, and he told me that. And then I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, it is a redfish."
See the dot right there.
Yeah, I just never focused on it or studied it that hard, really.
and Mr. Matt Stebley is running for alderman at large in Ocean Springs.
Yeah,
Go
shout
check him out at Twisted Anchor and shake his hand. Get to know him. No, it's you know who your son needs to play against. We didn't even we've had Ivan Spinner. He played college tennis.
Oh, he was legit then. If he played college, that's
He's a serious tennis player.
You know, it's crazy. Like
me and
I've
Butler
taken,
played tennis. This
I know.
week.
I said, "What is that
We
like?"
laughed the whole time. We played for the last year a pretty good bit.
Sucking
We-
wind or
Dude, we
Kinda
just,
like
we just
dodgeball?
laugh
Yeah,
at each
I've-
other, man, because
I've taken
we're just
Jackson
old,
Yeah,
out
that's
of
the
shape,
same
man.
way.
But it's funny.
to Alabama a couple times to watch some matches, and there's a lot of people from outside of the country that are on the team.
That's
So
how it was
I
at
don't
Ole
know-
Miss.
I know. I don't know.
I used to
how
work for
hard
the
it
football
is,
team up
because
there.
they're recruiting from all over.
And they would literally our whole tennis team and half our golf team was like from other countries.
Yeah. So I
I
don't know
didn't
how hard it's
understand
going to
it.
be, but
I'm telling you, link up.
There's a
with, link
there's
with
a shit ton
Ivan
of schools.
could
It
give
probably
him the
won't be that
experience. You know,
hard.
and Matt said he was doing his alderman. He was at sorry, I missed. I was at an alderman thing. So
Okay,
things are
yeah.
but no, like would Ivan have an experience? He still plays, but hey, maybe your little boy gets some tips.
yeah.
I mean-
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, that's a
Where
hard
did,
sport.
Where did Ivan play at?
I think Penn State, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. So
I mean, he's serious about
That's
it.
ser-
Like
that's-
I said, bro, I
that's
didn't know you
serious.
played that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Especially at that school, that's a pretty
prestigious and
that's-
big. Yeah,
So we were talking about surpassing me. I remember when he was he was probably 11 years old. Like, I would beat
Homing him
him.
by.
I could still barely beat him, and like he would get mad. He's very competitive, like very competitive.
Wonder where he gets
And,
that
like,
from.
But yeah, by the time he turned
Uncle
like
Cam?
12, maybe 13, it was like he was like beating me every time, and I was like,
You're sitting there
am I
like
really
the-
that bad, or is
sitting
he
there
just getting that
launching them at
good?
you.
Like, what's going on?
I think it's
man?
coordination.
Swinging
Dude,
that
Dude,
ball.
that
was
is
crazy.
a crazy moment because my son like can outrun me now.
Yeah.
So if like I'm mad and like I need to get him, like I can't get him. Like I'm like literally I cannot. He's faster than me. I'm like shit.
My dad used to be like that with me, but I've been this size since I was 12 years old.
True story.
But
Man
there
child.
was a time whenever I was a kid, and he's smaller than me now. But we would play basketball, and I wasn't trying to claim being any good at basketball. But being 3, 4, 5 years old out there, he would just he wouldn't let me score a goal. I'd be out there crying. I didn't even want to play basketball. Yeah, and he would always tell me. My mom would be like, "Let him win," and he's like, "No, there's going to be a time in life whenever I'm never going to be able to win again."
Was he screaming,
Yes.
"Make
And
it rain"?
he's like, "I'm going to get it all in when I can right now." And then I remember being, probably like 9 or 10 years old, and him going to roll up for a layup, and I stood there and I just like right back to him, and he falls down to the ground, and I'm just like, what did I just do? And he kind of looked up at me, and I don't want to play anymore. And then we never played basketball ever again.
But did you or your dad?
That's when he knew.
Did you or dad say make it rain when it all happened?
No, I don't think make it rain was a thing back then yet. But we definitely made it rain.
Yeah, I need to try to find these photos. So we did an event at Chandeleur a long time ago, and Jackson, he was a lot younger, but it was him paddling this. What was it? Toy? What was the toy with the paddle and the ball?
Ping pong.
Was it? He was playing against the wall.
Yeah,
And,
because we had the table set up outside. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was playing like hitting it against the wall. I think.
So my camera at the time was shooting 11 photos per second, like 11 frames per second, I believe it. Whatever the camera was, I had it on fast shoot, and you could see this kid's eyeballs, like
Moving, following.
yeah, to have several photos that all in one. You just see him, you're like, he's just the ball. He's not looking at the paddle or anything. He's focused on the ball. I'm like, okay, that's some.
It's the evolution, man.
Yeah.
You always want your kids to be better than you, and his kids are going to be better than he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, it's all about giving them the opportunity to do that
Yeah.
stuff too. So,
And
How big were you
me,
Yeah, let's-
this size. I haven't grown.
at all?
No, I had to lose weight to play.
Since you were 12?
Yeah, since I was 12.
So you're
Did you have
5'11".
like a beard too?
A goatee back then. Yeah,
He did.
I had to carry my.
what grade is that in? That's like
sixth
seventh?
grade, sixth grade.
Yeah.
I used to have to carry my birth certificate around with me to play, Pee Wee sports.
Is that right? I
and
thought
stuff.
you were too old.
I thought I was too old.
Yeah. Cheater. He's cheating.
Yeah. I had deodorant before
kids.
all the kids had deodorant. And then I stopped growing. And everybody caught up with me. And mentally, not so much. I'm still one step ahead of everyone else there. I try to be. But no. So what about you guys? I mean, y'all grew up together. Were y'all picked on as kids, or did y'all have each other's backs? Did y'all get in a lot of fights?
Did
or
y'all
what?
have matching outfits?
Yeah.
Man, we were.
Did y'all live in the same room? Did y'all have to bunk
We
it
did
up?
live in the same room, man. I mean, we were
Got
in
a
trailers growing up and all
A little
that.
wild
you know?
college days, but
Early on, yeah, it was. We were right there together.
I'm
The whole
picturing
time.
Step Brothers.
We beat the crap out of each other though, man, for many years.
Yeah. And
I
we
would
didn't
say-
have a lot of enemies either growing up, especially like high school and all that. I mean, we hung
Just
out.
likable guys.
Yeah,
That seem
some
like
people
that.
hung out with certain crowds. I mean, Cam and I mean, you can attest to this. I mean, we hung out with everybody.
That's how I
just
was
what
too.
We did,
I have friends in every
single.
in every clique, and
Exactly.
and I still
Yep,
do
same
to this
did.
day.
Yeah.
And it benefits you that way. I mean, my network is everything. My network is me. Shout out if y'all are in my network, you know who you are. But like, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be who I am without
Shout
my
out
network.
to myself.
My network. Shout out to my friends.
It's our platform.
Yeah, we do it, Evan. But
Yeah. No, hey, shout out to you, Matt.
no, the network. It's all about the network,
Shout
not
out
me.
to Matt's
Hey,
network.
plug them.
I could go on for there's not enough time in the day to list the names, but I mean, fortunate enough, you are the company you keep, and you try to be around good
Absolutely,
people
man.
and point you in the right direction. I mean, you guys, certainly you couldn't say you were where we are now if you wouldn't have had some good advice and some good friends, friendly advice. So
The company you keep determines the trouble you meet. No doubt.
we should just write a book with a bunch of children's drawings on it. And who's next? Jordan? You got it.
Matt's network.
That's a good one.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my network. Good. Now keep it up. Now keep it up.
So, what do you think the future of C.Roberds? Like, honestly, it's becoming like a. And here's some things. I pulled up the IP awards. Like, you won an award for the IP, and there's. I mean, it's kind of incredible. I mean, the finishes y'all do and stuff like that.
They're very challenging. Lots of the millwork side of those projects are usually on another level, which is can be tough, especially in the world we live in now, man. If it's a process, and if you don't, if your buyout's not correct and you're not getting your materials coming, then you can't finish the project. And of course, when you're in a casino, you don't want to not finish on time.
You always want to be welcome back.
You have to deliver, and it's a lot of.
And you're working
lot
at
of
night?
revenue on the line for them. Oh yeah, we work all different.
with
hours.
the casinos, though, will it's like a 24-hour kind of
I
crew
mean,
thing,
if we need to, it'd be like a double shift or something. If we need to, sometimes you just do one long shift, and guys will go in there and bust 10, 12 hours or something. But it just depends on the project, man.
What did it feel like, Matt, if you had a company and you designed something for a casino? And he won an
We
award
didn't
for
design. I mean, they had a designer, they had an architect, they had
it.
engineers.
Being a part of, I mean, there's a lot more, but like the fact that like you're a part of that, like,
oh yeah, no, that's
what is AGC?
That's the Association of General Contractors. It's our organization for the general
I used to be a part of it
contractors.
whenever-
Kind of like the NFL and construction world.
No, like you pay a membership to be in the
no,
AGC.
it's just like the
and-
Brewers Guild for a brewery, or the
May I have another? May I have another?
Yeah, I'll do one more of those too. I mean, we got.
I ain't breaking a seal, bro.
hey, don't you have another 6-pack? A few more in the truck.
Yeah, we got. I mean, we got bourbon too. But no, that's kind of I hope like we're gonna get on. We're gonna have an award. Hopefully, we got matching suits.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, Pam,
You know, wear your Mardi Gras suit.
We've got some.
Wear your Mardi Gras.
No, we
suit.
got like we do LARP now. We got full blown like LARP costumes.
Have y'all seen those, the videos that we did? It's live action role play. We came up with these costumes.
Yeah, I'm a
Came up
bounty
with
hunter.
characters.
Yeah,
wait.
we're brothers, bounty hunters.
I saw that.
So we're working on
yeah.
a cartoon based on it now. So we've went so far as to get it animated.
Oh yeah, baby.
We got voiceovers and we've drawn scenes out, and we got a pilot episode we've been working on. It's been fun.
Cool,
got a 3D
man.
printer in action. We're trying to get some action.
Shout out to Garrett
Get a little
Johnson.
Sneak preview
Johnson
of this
Diesel.
stuff or what?
Yeah, after we get done here, we don't have anything to upload in front of
But
everybody. Sorry,
it's
guys,
something
but-
that we just talked about.
I'm
So
talking about like offline.
Yeah, we can absolutely show you some stuff. We can even we can build you into it.
So we're going to be building the cartoon through our coastal experiences. So we've made our own like country. So you're gonna, if you know, like you're gonna get it. Like I think I know we're gonna integrate them into the cartoon. Like
And we absolutely should.
like a bar standard. Just so when I mean.
I don't know, just
It's
like you guys
expression.
have named your cans after things that have shaped
Yeah.
your lives and are, in the past. It's
Yeah.
beers. It's the same way with us in this thing. And it's really not like the final product. It was just a start. It was just us saying, hey, let's try it. Let's figure it out. Just same way you guys did whenever you're like, hey, I like beer. Let's try to maybe brew some of this beer.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
let's do this thing.
You see, it turns into something,
Yeah.
You fail 1,000 times, but you succeed once, and
Y'all
it's
have
big.
is it like start when y'all are younger or?
No,
It
I'd
kind
like
of-
to see
kind of
that.
the
I wanna
first
see
scene.
the comparison of Matthew at 12 and all
No,
of his buddies.
my original
He's
thought
like this tall and everybody.
is, I got like a grand, twisted, sick sense of humor, and in my mind, I thought like having a baby with the adult head on it, or just like the same action figure, just completely shrunk all the way down. You can like shrink stuff, but the same person. But to portray a small one, just people wouldn't get it, but I would tell them that's what it's our show.
It's coming along though. It really, I mean, it's. And then we started doing LARP. Like we started dressing up and going. Like we went to Bouval and we watched. Like we really started getting into character, and because we were trying to learn.
The people there weren't
Oh,
breaking character.
they weren't
So
breaking-
I was just like, let's go film it. And at first, I was just like, it's gonna be like a infiltrate. And it quickly turned from like that to catch their experience to actually enjoying it. I mean, it was definitely different. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely different, something that I've never experienced before.
Where was this at?
It was at Beauvoir, but it was that their sign said "All realms welcome."
So there's no, you could be anything. We brought Oliver.
So you guys could have came
Yeah.
and you could have been like, "We're the brothers of Chandeleur Brewing," and we're the kings there, and everybody would have been like, "All hail the brothers of Chandeleur Brewing."
but the people that are doing it
They would have like played along with you. It was pretty.
put their love in it though, with making
Yeah.
tents and making like. There's a guy that we met and he wouldn't break character for nothing, but he would make stamps and make jackets and make like.
But to shine the light on this kind of people, just for a glimpse, like for instance,
That was awesome.
This weekend, all right, I don't know if you guys know this. There's a local wrestling organization down here called Diamond Championship Wrestling.
I go every second Saturday of every month.
Okay, well, we'll be there. I think this Saturday.
They want us
Wait,
to come out.
filming.
Yeah, second Saturday.
It's in Ocean Springs.
Yeah, I go. It's the Ryan Youth Center.
Yeah, are you gonna be there?
I take my kids there.
Wait a minute. Are you a cameoed wrestler?
Are you, hey, we're doing this.
Look at my Facebook
What mask are you
profiles
wearing?
with one of the wrestlers. And
Well,
my kids.
I think we're gonna go check this thing out. They actually
it's
sent me a
awesome.
message before we had, but yeah, shining light on things that the typical coast person wouldn't see. And
Dude, they actually, I saw the signs forever, and I was like, man, I really need to bring my son to this, and didn't go, and then talked to Eric Nichols. Shout out Nichols.
Eric Nichols is the man.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, let's bring our kids. So me, him, and another buddy, and we brought our sons there, and we just absolutely enjoyed it. We're like, man, this is so cool.
So who's your favorite wrestler?
So then we went back. Mac Daddy Duds.
Mac Daddy
He's the
Duds.
man. Yeah, that's my son's favorite.
All
So
right.
and their
Shout out Mac Daddy.
their website is very legit. If you go to their website, like every wrestler is on there, the profiles. You can bring the kids.
Well, I
let 'em
actually
pick
spoke
who they
with
want.
Gene and his wife, the people who own it, the other day. I spoke with them on the phone. Like, they're super receptive. I was just joking around. And I was like, man, what's up with like letting us do a special guest referee? I don't know. We'll see what's up.
Oh, dude.
So is the venue?
Yes.
Is it their own venue, or are they just
What up,
place,
Cloud?
wrestling?
Preston said.
They go to
What's up,
Pascagoula
guys?
too, and then they do Ocean Springs.
Ocean Springs
and
and
then they do-
Pascagoula.
Okay, so
That's
they kind of
yeah.
okay.
So
It's
what?
like at the community center.
So what episode did? It was that last episode. We mentioned them. Not Jesse Hill, but it was the episode.
That was the Shay Dobson episode.
So we did Shay Dobson. We had Shay come on. Shout out Shay, buddy. He came on. He talked highly of him because he's really into it, and they reached out, and that was cool. Like, they're thank you so much for we kept talking about like. So I grew up. I was obsessed with wrestling. Like, I think we all were at something. I had wrestling buddy. Ultimate Warrior was my favorite wrestler of all time. So I had the wrestling buddy. Like, and I still have Hulk Hogan. I still have these 80, 90 toys, and like I would watch wrestling every time it came on TV. It didn't matter, especially Monday night. It was over with. That was my.
Who was yours?
I got a cool story about a wrestling in Atlanta, Georgia, back in probably circa like mid
That's
'80s.
Ric Flair days.
Yeah, like it was Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, and my dad had his buddies in town, and we were jumping on the MARTA rail to head down to go watch. Everybody was hyped up, and they were all hyped up. So me and Cain, I guess the MARTA rail was at the very end of the train, and it was open, and it was getting close to the end. Cain jumped on, the doors closed, and Cain took off downtown Atlanta, when he was like 9 years old, just took off. And
By
this
yourself.
was no cell phones, and I mean, this was way before that. Yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I knew exactly.
Were you like crying
I knew
immediately?
exactly where I was
Four
going.
stops later, so my dad's like, oh man, he was absolutely losing it, right? Because we lived with my mom, and my dad would take us for a week or two in the summertime during the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
this was his week, and he loses one of the kids in Atlanta, downtown, but Cain actually got off at the right stop. We jumped on the next train, and it was a stressful moment, but we were going to watch Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, man, and that was I'm relating to you, man. I loved it. That was so great.
Did y'all get to watch the show?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So that was before the show that you took off.
Yeah.
So you almost ruined it for everybody.
No, I went to the right spot. They just didn't get
You're
on.
just tired of
quick
waiting
enough,
on them.
man.
They're
It was their fault.
lollygagging.
Yeah.
I got you.
I was ready to roll.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that opportunity to support the local wrestling scene, and that's cool that they were like, "Hey, Matt, we're doing." Matt goes, "We're doing this." It's like, all right, I'm down. Like,
Dude, I'm gonna take Mac. We were literally my son's name is Mac. That's why his favorite wrestler is Mac Daddy Duds.
Makes sense.
He's probably one of the best. I mean, he's legit. I mean,
Their
he's fun
showmanship
to
is.
It's on
I've watched their
it's
videos
great.
and stuff online.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
are we? When we going full blown?
I mean, I don't. Do we do anything else?
I mean, no, probably not. I mean, I'm down. I mean, I'm serious. Like on Saturday, let's do it. I mean,
Y'all coming?
I'll be there.
All right.
Is it this Saturday?
Ocean Springs.
You need to bring the boys, man.
Well, Jackson's got a tennis tournament in Mobile, so we may end up coming over afterwards.
Oh, yeah, it starts at like 7.
with everything going
Actually,
on,
you know what? Rosie's going to be in Panama City with Jennifer for a gymnastics meet, so I'll have the boys. So it
Dude, y'all need to
might
come
work out
over.
perfect,
Sydney's
yeah.
going to be in Destin.
Boom.
y'all kind of help me out though, because Emily is still will be coming back from Miami later that night. It's gonna be me and Oliver and Matt.
Yeah.
So definitely we have Oliver with us.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They'll love it.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's gonna love it. The thing I love about
We
wrestling.
bring a megaphone
we got him.
for the kids that bring them.
Oh no,
Oh, really?
no,
Do they
not
encourage it?
megaphones. We have.
I don't know if they encourage it.
Well, each have a microphone for the table for y'all to just see if y'all
Hackle.
can interview people. Just
Hackle.
grab it, and we have the actual mics where you just go up and you can interview now. Like, just go up and see if you can get a wrestler to talk. It doesn't have to be me or Matt. It could be any of us. Like, let it get
sure they do
character.
something
I don't
that.
have my phone, but did you see the picture of my profile with my kids and the one guy? I forgot his
The
name.
is that
the
that's-
army guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's him.
he's cool. And that's not Mac Dad.
Oh,
That's
okay.
another
That's
one.
another one of the wrestlers.
Look,
See if
check
you
it.
can you bring it closer to the camera?
Yeah.
See it?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Cool.
Yeah.
They get pretty crazy in there.
Is it
that dude
PG?
right there.
Is it PG-13? All right.
With the kids, I
So,
would
so
think so.
my
yeah.
my thing with doing the wrestling stuff and with everything going on, it's cool to like to have kids and everybody dive into that kind of platform. I think we've always had a fun time with platforms like that. I mean, it's
An outlet. It's not destructive.
Hey, if we can get them away from the electronic devices, man,
That's it.
you
Bingo.
know,
You did it.
and do something that they can enjoy. It's entertain. It's truly entertainment too. I mean, these guys they're fun to watch.
Is My Daddy your favorite, or is it your kid's favorite? It sounds like it's your kid. It sounds like it's your favorite.
man. Yeah, I like.
Sounds like you picked him out and your kids just followed it.
do we need to make you a
If
shirt?
he likes him, you gotta like him too, right?
I don't know.
I think you guys need to go.
How
do
many
a tag team.
wrestlers are involved? How many matches?
Not all of them wrestle in a night, but they'll have probably maybe 8 to 10 matches.
Got to make the card.
Probably. Yeah. So, and then they have championships and belts and tag team belts. It's legit. It's awesome.
We're going to find out about it all too soon. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you guys had been in this for an hour and 45 minutes, so let's round it out here in a minute. You got any more questions for the famous twins? You'll go ahead and send them in now.
Yeah, send them right now, guys. If you have any questions with these boys,
We got them right here.
right here. Ask them
'em.
anything.
No, but guys, we do appreciate y'all coming
I
on.
enjoyed
and
it too, man. It was awesome. I appreciate
I
it.
feel honored for y'all
Yeah.
to take the time to come out here, hang out. It's
Would
always,
love to come
always
back
a
and do it
pleasure.
again.
Oh, for
man,
sure.
Yeah, listen, I want to do something too, and
Yeah.
whenever y'all get this Cat Island camp, I want to do something out there.
There's no doubt, man.
I think that would be a cool podcast.
Yeah, it would be. I was trying to get some pictures up. They got it pretty much framed in. They're putting rafters on this week, so it looks really good. I was going to send y'all some pictures.
So they're
but I
moving
couldn't.
quick out there.
Oh well, it's not quick.
No. How long is it taking?
It's an absolute logistic nightmare.
Yeah,
man.
so we
It's
set
crazy.
pilings before hurricane season last year, I think, didn't we? And then we had to stop.
So
because
over a
hurricane-
year.
Oh yeah, well over a year. So, well, I'd say maybe not quite a year.
Man, it's been a battle, but it's look at it.
Logistically,
on
it's
island,
like-
dude. It's
it's-
9
yeah,
miles.
it's tough.
offshore.
Is it always changing? I mean, every time we go out to Horn Island, it changes every time you get out there.
Cat Island? I mean, some of the sandy areas move
It's a
around
little closer.
bit. Yeah, but it's still
Got
the
a lot
same.
of vegetation on
Yeah.
it in some areas,
Lots
and
of
that hasn't
trees.
really
Keeps it
changed.
staying.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of history on Cat Island. Have y'all ever read
There's
the
houses
book?
out
No,
there still.
I'm telling you,
I've been
I'm
out
stayed
there.
on lane, guys.
Man,
Some of this language it makes no sense. I'm just trying to take it in. So, what is Cat Island? We got plenty of time, and they'll stay in. I mean, what's Cat Island?
Cat is an island that was owned by the Cuevases, I guess, way back when. That was whenever they were going to settle New Orleans. I mean, they stopped at Cat. I mean, this thing has been around. There's actually like some stories that there's some loot that's buried at Cat Island. So
I'm in. Treasure hunting?
yeah.
Is that why y'all really got the camp out there?
Yeah. Are we doing this? Like, are we serious? Like, let's go full blown.
Yeah, we just went in and bought like some really expensive metal detectors.
I want Jacques Cousteau like credibility. So something about the scuba diving and stuff. I'm down for this.
Oh, Kyle Mallison here.
Kyle Mallet.
Southern Glass guy said, I've done a good bit of work for them. Good guys. Kyle Mallet, they had a.
Axis deer on Cat Island, he says.
They did.
They did,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Axis
Really?
deer. Yeah.
What?
They all got blown.
So, what is an axis deer?
Well, they planted that specific deer for Cat Island. Some of the owners did to hunt, and they got washed up in Katrina. So they haven't been out there since Katrina. But who knows what's in the future, man? Maybe there'll be some axis deer again out there one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
All right,
Or
guys.
Other things.
What is any questions? If you had any, if you didn't understand any of this fishing lingo, which I about 65%, maybe 70%, had no clue. But but y'all are doing a project. No matter what, y'all care about the tarpon tag, and y'all care about preserving, making the difference.
100%.
That's something I'll get behind always.
Mark Anthony Seymour says, never seen a pony keg of Heineken blow up on Cat Island. I told you there'd be some inside jokes.
That was
Say what, Mark? Say what?
That is the original slaw chunk right there, man. Yeah.
That is
Slaw chunk, yeah.
That's awesome. But man, no matter we talked about bringing me on the boat. We talk. I'm going to get involved. But it's cool to like learn, you know, like I'm going to go out there and not know any of it. But I'm also not going to, you know, wear a Guy Harvey shirt and tell you I did. So
you'll fit right in, dude. Trust me. Yeah.
I mean,
you'll enjoy it.
And another thing with Butler, you know, we've been fighting for the Sands. We've been having a good time. He's been a big support like y'all have. And he's like, man, I got to get you on the boat with us. He's like, this got to take you. You just got to go.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
happen.
get Jordan sea legs. But, all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for coming. We're gonna do it again. Y'all got y'all's commitment. Y'all gonna come back and do it.
Yeah,
more
Can we
time.
get a cheers?
All right, yeah, let's get a cheers
sure.
to cap it all off. All right, everyone out there, thanks for listening.
Y'all can have
tuning in.
cheers with us.
I'll go enjoy a nice fresh Chandeleur beer down in Gulfport, and we'll see y'all next time. Take it easy.
Take care, guys.